Stream. Start the stream.
He's got great eyebrows, though. Look at those eyebrows, man.
Look at my cow. 9 to 5.
Let's play if they've ever experienced anal or not.
Her, yes.
Yes.
Him?
Yes.
Yes. Both ways.
Yeah, he's very
He's had
experienced.
it. He's given it and taken it.
Yeah. And he's not ashamed.
He's not ashamed.
It
at all.
wasn't just in college. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa. Watch the hand gestures, ma'am.
Who is that?
Look, I'm not sure what
Where are they?
I think it's in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania?
The only thing we had more of in
What's
this
ever
country
happened
was more
that's
chaos.
good in
I
Pennsylvania?
think under Kamala Harris, you're going to see someone
Crickets.
who's compassionate, who cares deeply about
The
the welfare of
Steelers.
all Americans, no matter what they look like, where
Ben
they
Rapist
come from,
Burger.
who they love, who they pray to. An economic message.
You gonna do rape jokes this whole night?
Instead of
I wasn't
shutting
planning
out
on
the
it,
middle
but
class,
now that you say it,
I expect you'll see
Oh, I did
Kamala
make one a
Harris
while
speak
ago
not
because
only
of the
about her
political
track
ads.
record, but
They're
her
out of control.
vision for the
they're
nation.
way out of control.
Do you want to die from murder, rape, disfiguration, or addiction to fentanyl? If you don't,
That's it.
then you'll vote for Trump. If you do,
Do you like fentanyl? Well, it's going to keep coming in this country if you don't elect Jared Allred.
if you don't vote for Ted Cruz, you're going to get blue balls to the point that they rot off. What are you going to vote for?
If
Rotten
you like
balls?
Ted Cruz, you love fentanyl. What?
Yeah.
How?
That
What?
doesn't even make sense, man.
I don't love Ted Cruz,
I feel like that's what they're doing
but I have
whenever.
a mild infatuation with
I have a
fentanyl.
feeling that's how like Kamala Harris's campaign is set up. They're like, "What are your policies?" Hey, let me tell you about things. If you vote for Trump, you're voting for Hitler, Satan, the Joker, Adderall, Diet Coke, hard,
Pepsi.
unprotected sex, COVID-1, COVID-2, COVID-3.
If you vote for Kamala Harris, you like soda suicide.
Yeah, what? Oh, man.
That's weird.
Everything is about fear now on broadcast TV so far. Like, even this security commercial, like, hey, be scared.
Yeah,
Be scared.
people are watching you in your sleep.
You remember when your friend said you should go ahead and start buying guns? Well, you should have.
Well, it's too late. You should have already had them.
We tried to tell
breaking
you.
into your house.
Now, all of a sudden, there's just Seth going,
What?
told you. Told ya.
Should have got it. Should have got it when I told you.
Told ya. Told you.
Second. I'm gonna walk over here for a second.
You're missing a lot of anal or not anal.
This is our time.
Oh, my tie.
Love my ties.
My tie.
I'm a big fan of my ties. Big fan. All right, let's start the show up.
Yeah, especially the THC ones. That was good.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. I had the Pomona after y'all left. And that was pretty good. I dug that one. All right. Do you want Goat Island? What's the deal with Goat Island? Older people where I live would say Goat Man's Island.
Goat man.
Come together when you can.
Oh, man.
Save me. Oh, is this the golden era bachelorette?
Yeah, that's Gen Xers probably. We're the golden era.
Oh, yeah, we are, aren't we?
Is that really what that was?
I think it was. Hey, look. He's gay. I mean, he's blind.
Dude,
I mean, he's...
I would hate to be the director on her set.
All right, I'm going to
I'd
start the
just be
show.
always worried she's going to fuck
What is she
something
gonna
up
say?
really bad.
Snoopy Dog.
Snoop Dippity Dog.
All right, let's start this up. Here we go.
Smells like chicken fingers in here.
No, it is. Chicken fingers, chicken fingers.
We would be honored if you would join us.
This episode of the
Jay Jones Last Kicker
is brought to you by
Guys,
that was
I
unnecessary.
am altering the deal. Pray
That's
I don't alter it
unnecessary.
any further.
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre contains graphic material,
it's memorialized.
including offensive
offended.
language, partial nudity, and completely ridiculous thoughts and opinions that shouldn't be expressed or shared by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
And now coming at you from the Temple of I, just on the outskirts of where the West begins.
It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre! You ruined it. You ruined it with your conservative talk and don't ban this ammunition.
Fuck you. You're a goddamn communist. I'm a fucking Reagan era fucking conservative, pussy.
You know what? I'm tired of going out shooting guns with you. I've played your games long enough. It's like all I'm doing is wasting fucking ammunition. You know, I gotta save that for the zombies later. They're gonna be fucking attacking my house. When you call me up, I'm not gonna come over and fucking take care of all your shit.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. The zombies are here.
Are you running? Are you not running? We're dying. We're dying. The American dream is dead.
It is show 592
Don't let the show stop you from eating there.
from
buddy.
September 10th, 2024. It is debate
Okay,
night.
God, you're smacking while you're introing the show.
I guess I should stop.
I would just hit delete.
It just started all over.
No, I would delete the whole show, man. I
Just
would,
done?
if I was a listener, I'd be like, I'm just turning this shit off right now.
So it's debate night.
Debate night. Happy
We are-
Tuesday, Dustin.
Happy
It's
Tuesday,
debate
Matt.
Countdown.
If you're
7 minutes to go.
Watching us on YouTube, we got the screen up in the
that's
main
what I was
area.
gonna ask. Are we up on YouTube's?
We are up on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
I got the screen up on top. I got 3 panels down the bottom. We got a guest that'll be joining us in a little bit.
Yeah.
We got the
The mystery guest. He's never on.
motherfucker. I could start it over
Why?
because I didn't hit record.
Okay, we have.
All right, let's do this again.
Is everybody
Are you
hearing it
running?
for the second time?
Are you not running? We're dying. We're dying. The American dream
I don't think you should
is
edit.
dead.
I think you should just leave it like this because it's going to mess with the stoners who listen to us. They're gonna be like, what is happening?
It is show 592 for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024.
Why?
Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy
See,
Tuesday.
I'm not smacking this time.
Yeah, see?
See, it's better.
Yeah, you went to broadcast school, sir.
I did. What did Chris Christie?
Man, that guy has had some fruit roll-ups in his life.
He's had it both ways too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's anal pro. He's pro anal.
So we got a pregame going of everybody that pops on. Tonight's debate night. We
It's
gotta
the
break
debate
down.
night.
It's debate night. We are going to Mystery Science 3000. This debate. We're going to talk about everything that's on screen. You can kind of hear it in the background. We'll crank
Dude,
it up
that
as it
guy's
gets closer.
farted so many. Man, how many farts has he had? Probably in the
How
millions.
many toilets is he devastated?
Oh gosh, man.
Probably. I know he comes out to AT&T Stadium all the time. Now,
Man.
where did they dig her up from?
Dude, I had a guy, man, that I grew up with that would religiously destroy the Walmart outside of what's the closest town that has a Walmart on this side of New Mexico and Texas up in the Panhandle. It's like one of the main.
Dalhart.
Close. A little farther up north. There's always tornado.
Like text line and all that?
Yeah.
Like around there?
Like right there at the corner, right where it's like within 50 miles of Colorado and
text line wouldn't count.
Cameron? No.
Yeah, I think that's a
Is
town.
it Cameron?
I think there's a town up there called Cameron.
Anyway, every time we'd go to this thing out in New Mexico, and every time we got into Texas at that freaking area, he'd have to fucking go destroy a Walmart bathroom.
That was his deal?
Yeah, because he would buy his underwear that he ruined the trip, like while he was, I guess, holding it.
Really?
And yeah, like he got reinforcements while he was in the Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
something about when he got into Texas, man, just dilated him to like a 9. Pull over, man. I'm
so
dilated.
He could never be your holder.
I'm dilated to a 9.
He could never be your mule.
No, man. It's like a sewer pipe. Did you start that show, man?
No, I haven't yet. I had no time to do it today.
I'm a changed man from that.
My today got all screwed up. Bad.
Yeah, you were telling me you had a rough one. You're getting ready for the hurricane.
I
the
guess.
Big hurricane.
And everybody's on strike.
Man, that thing went to a worry to, don't worry about it, in like 24 hours. It's like all of a sudden they were like sitting there
this
freaking
morning,
out.
They were talking about, if you're in Bolivar, get the hell out of there. And
Galveston
and
I think
stuff.
it was more of locally.
Oh, yeah.
Like
here.
locally, they're like, wow, man, we could really have some nasty flooding here at the end of the week. Da, 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 da. And then like the next day, with hardly any chance of rain, it's a little disturbing. It's like, I think all the weather, all they do is just look at Twitter or X, and then they see something
figure it out.
Another place is reporting, so they report.
We wanted to learn about it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, man, they did. They got,
calm down.
It's like everything's that Olympics, the profile they do on the athlete, profile on the weatherman. Well, mommy.
Who is Reince Priebus, former White House chief of staff? That's who he is. Look, his ear to eye ratio is very weird, and
is a big four.
He's done.
Oh, yes, and probably anal.
Given or taken?
I'm giving him an anal.
Given or taken or both?
I think when the yayo gets out, he's down for whatever. Like it doesn't matter. It's like just a sex Caligula going on in his hotel rooms.
We got 2 minutes now. Yeah, this guy's done it.
He kind of looks like a frog. Yeah.
Now, her.
Is she alive?
I saw this show once. It was called Tales from the Crypt.
Is she alive? For real? I'm
Demon
serious.
Knight.
That looks like a puppet. Like, what is happening to our country?
She has to be alive because AI would have smoothed all that out.
What in the hell, man? Like, do you think they're just like, all right, we got to tell her she has to retire?
How's that? Any better? Any better? I don't know. I'm looking at the screen and it shows that everything looks good.
Are we gonna have to quit the show? All right.
I don't know. We got one of these old ones. We're probably gonna have to replace it for too long. But does that sound better? Better now. Okay, good.
Everything sounds really good in my
Is
ears, and that's
everything
all that
better
matters.
now? Better now. I could have gone now. So we got a minute and a half. Is there anything
pressing?
Like we know that we're gonna have a drinking contest. I got a little bingo card here that I've got pulled up. That if anything is said, people watching the show can drink.
So you're gonna do drinks here too, then?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
'cause
yeah.
that was what I was thinking.
Yeah,
was
I
gonna-
am.
Theater of the mind.
I'm going to take a drink of this
Theater
beer.
of the mind.
You just take a drink of beer.
Yeah.
And then you.
I'll drink
if
my
if a line is made on this bingo card,
high quality H2O.
Then you do you got to do whatever. You got to shoot it in your butt or something.
Is there any square on there that has Modern Warfare Type 2 situation on screen in front of the whole world to watch?
I know this is what you're wanting.
No.
But that's not what's going to happen.
I did not say I wanted it to happen. I was just saying there's a chance. About the odds are probably at Vegas about 300 to 1.
That's going to happen.
That could happen. I bet you could bet on debate
15 seconds.
tragedy.
14 seconds.
We're not going to do another intro, are we?
No, we're just going to.
Let's do it.
We're
Fuck
gonna
it. Let's
turn
do
up.
another intro.
Show number 592.
Imagine if we were in charge of bringing this to the. What if we were the moderators, Dustin? How would that go? That would be me, and you would be her.
President Donald Trump. Their first face-to-face.
You would be David Muir.
I'd be David. You'd be.
What's her name?
What's
Wasn't
her
she
name?
on Sesame Street?
For President upended just
What?
weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate.
I don't
Donald
know,
Trump
man.
Now up against a new opponent.
We'll have to ask the
Candidates
fact
separated by
checkers
the
about that
smallest
one,
of
Dustin.
margins, essentially tied in the polls nationally. And in the key
So if this gets
battlegrounds,
boring,
including right here in
RoboTuner says
Pennsylvania,
he's in
are
route.
still
We have his
very much in
camera set
play.
up. That's who's going to be
The
sitting in
ABC
the
News
third
presidential
box with
debate
us,
starts
supplying
right now.
commentary on tonight's show.
That's going to be a lot of. I don't really care. I don't really know. I don't care.
I only care about puppet rights.
I'm already out. Turn it off. Turn it off.
This guy, spare and spare.
News presidential debate.
Hey, is it in 3D?
I
Do we
think
need
so.
our 3D glasses on? Put your
Put 'em
3D
on. What if it
glasses
was-
on now.
3D bit debate.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's
What was with that
ABC News
arena?
presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching.
They want to
on
make it like the
ABC
Gladiator.
and around the world
David
tonight.
Muir looks
Vice
like
President
that puppet
Kamala
over
Harris
there.
and President Donald Trump are just moments
He
away
looks
from
like
taking the
our
stage
Freddie
in the
Mercury
Oh
puppet.
man, we
race
need
for
someone to.
president.
Oh,
And
dude,
Lindsay Davis
I feel like I
tonight's
should
meeting could
face
be
the
the
camera
most
at it because that's
consequential
an
event of their campaigns
accurate
with
description.
Election Day now less
Like
than
they-
2
That's an
months
accurate
away.
description.
For Vice
David
President
Muir has a
Kamala
weird
Harris,
hat.
this is her first debate
How?
since
What?
President
Man, he was
Biden
so cool
withdrew
back
from the
then.
race
Look,
on
when he was in the
July
band.
21st.
When he was in the band,
Of
when
course,
he was
that
Freddie
decision
Mercury.
Here, I'll
followed
go
his
get him.
debate against President Donald Trump in June.
Are they going to talk
Since
about the
then, this race
rules?
has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
What are the
And that
rules?
brings us to the rules of
Here we
tonight's
go.
debate.
I want to hear the
90 minutes with
rules.
2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for rebuttals.
And there's no one
1
in
minute
there?
for follow-ups,
Check it out.
clarifications, or responses. Their microphones will
You got
only
David
be turned
Muir in
on
your
when it's
lap?
their turn to
Yeah.
speak. No
This is
pre-written
this
notes
is before
allowed.
this was
There is no audience
when
here
heroin
tonight
was
in this
still
hall
cool.
at the National Constitution
David
Center.
Muir's
This is
straight
an
as an
intimate
arrow. He's
setting
never
for
done
2
anything.
candidates who
You didn't
have
know
never
when he was
met.
in the band.
President
Dude.
Trump won
He
the
was doing
coin toss. He
smack,
chose to deliver the final
drinking
closing
Jaeger
statement of the
and
evening.
Bud Lights all
President
night with his
Harris
That's
bros
right.
on the road.
He
dude.
grew up in
On the
Seattle.
road. Hell yeah.
Vice President
And-
Kamala
and
Harris.
Even for see, he's about to get it right now.
Do they shake hands? Do they shake hands? Do
What
they?
if I would spit in
Kamala
my
Harris.
hand?
They've never met. This is the first time they've met.
Did he say Donald Trump?
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor.
This
to
is
have you
so
both here
awkward
tonight.
already.
Isn't that
Good
weird? That's the
evening.
first
We
time
are
they've
looking
met.
forward
Why
to
is
a
there
spirited
3
and
cameras
thoughtful
facing
debate.
us? Oh, I
So
guess
let's get
that's
started.
those.
I want to
Okay.
begin tonight with the issue that voters
How
repeatedly
high are
say is their
you?
number
Pretty
one
high.
issue, and that is the economy and the
think I
cost
drank
of
the
living
juice
in
too
this
early.
country. Vice
Trump
President
looks
Harris, you
tired.
and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your
Let's hear
opponent
this
on the
quality
stage here
commercial.
tonight
Let's hear
often
this.
asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
No.
So I was raised as a middle class kid. And I am actually the only person on this stage who
And
has
drink.
a plan that is about lifting up the middle class
Oh,
and
I didn't
working
see.
people
Where's
of
the card
America.
at?
I
Do you have it
believe
in the chat room
the
or anything?
ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing.
All right, let's
We
see
know
here.
that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost
thought
of
she was
housing
about to
is
say
too
hockey.
expensive for far too many people. We know that young families
I
need
wanna send this to
support to
Okay.
raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have
There you
given
go.
in a long time, so that those young families
Texted it.
can afford to buy a
Tin
crib,
Metal Bands,
buy
whose
a car
third album
seat,
is their
buy
best.
clothes for their children. My
Oh, I guess I could put it in there.
passion, one of them, is small businesses. I was actually, my mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small
Right
business owner.
now,
I
I'm
love
leaning
our small
towards
businesses.
Kamala's eyebrow.
Drink
My
again.
plan is to
Oh,
give a
all right.
$50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his
Uh-oh.
plan is to do what he has done before. which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result
What's he
in
looking
$5
at?
trillion
What's he reading?
to America's deficit.
His eyes are going back and
My
forth like
opponent
crazy.
has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you
Drink.
rely on to get through the
Trump
month.
tax.
Trump
Drink.
tax. Drink.
Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually
Another
result
one.
for middle-class
Yep.
families
Another drink.
Gotta
in
drink
about
again.
$4,000 more a year because of his policies
Why is
and
late
his
great
ideas
Hannibal Lecter
about
in this?
what should be the backs of middle-class people
Gotta be
paying
a
for
double
tax cuts
pointer,
for
like a
billionaires.
triple pointer.
President
H.
Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Here he goes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the
see
tariff
sales
will be
tax.
substantial in some
Oh,
cases.
same
I
thing on
took
that
in
for him.
billions and billions of dollars, as you know,
We
from
should have
China.
printed this out.
In fact, they never took the tariff off
The,
because
the
it was
cards
so
are all
much
the
money
same.
they
They're just
can't.
in different
It would
places.
totally destroy everything
So you
that
just
they've
have to
set
look
out
at
to
one.
do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and
Thanks,
other places.
Dustin.
They've left the tariffs
China.
on.
I was straight
When
up
I
going
had it,
through
I
all
had
of
tariffs,
them.
and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because
Terrible.
inflation has, which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries.
If he says
We
late
have
great
inflation
Hannibal
like very
Lecter,
few people
Then
have
the game's
This is
ever
over.
set up.
He
before.
wins.
Probably the
He
worst in our
wins.
nation's history.
I'd vote.
We were
I'd
at
immediately
21%,
pledge my
but that's
vote to
being
him if he
generous
says
because when
that.
things are
Something
50,
about
60,
Hannibal
70,
Lecter. Anything about
80%
Hannibal
higher
Lecter.
than they were just a few years ago.
I'd like to give
This
the
has
shout
been
out
a
to
disaster
the
for
late,
people,
great
for the middle class,
Hannibal
but for every
Lecter.
class.
Drink.
On top of that, we have
Gulp.
millions of people
Disaster
pouring
for the
into
middle
our
class.
country from prisons
right.
and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are
He's
occupied
close.
right now by African Americans and
Uh-oh.
Hispanics. And also
Hannibal Lecter.
unions. Unions are going to be
Come on.
affected very soon.
Oh, I saw unions
and
in
you see
here.
what's happening. You see what's
Well, I see
happening
it.
with
For the
towns
people,
throughout the
building up
United
the middle
States. You look at
class.
Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently.
Trying to find a
These
way
are the
he could tie
people
it to
that she
Hannibal
and
Lecter.
Biden led into our country.
Might as
And
well
they're
let
destroying
Hannibal
our
in.
country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality.
Windmills,
and
sharks,
we have to
or
get 'em out. We have to
electrocution?
get them out fast. I created one of the
Is
greatest
that all
economies
has to be in the same
history
one?
of our country.
I think it says
I'll
or.
do it again and even better.
We need
We are
get in
gonna
here,
to
Thomas.
immigration and border
Happy
security
Tuesday,
during
Thomas.
this debate, but
Hi,
Happy
Thomas.
Tuesday, Stubbs.
Vice President Harris
Happy
respond
Tuesday,
on the
Dustin.
economy here.
Well, I
This
would
is
love
already
to. Let's
intense.
talk about what
We've got
Donald
blows
Trump
thrown
left
already.
us.
We do.
Donald
the Trump
Trump
tax.
left us the worst unemployment since the Great
We haven't done anal
Depression.
on either one of them.
Donald Trump left us
She
the worst
for sure
public
is
health
pro anal. I don't know about
epidemic
him yet.
in a
He's taking and
century.
giving.
Donald Trump
He's
left us the
double-sided.
worst
I mean, he is
attack
American.
on our democracy since the Civil War.
Since the
And
Civil
what
War.
we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
So
what we have done and what
You
I
guys have been in
intend to
office
do
for
is
28
build
years.
on what
Are
we know
windmills,
are the
sharks, or
aspirations and the hopes of
electrocution?
the
Is
American
that supposed to
people. But
come
I'm
up
gonna
in
tell you all in this debate tonight,
one thing,
you're
or
gonna
can
hear
it be
from
any
the
of those
same old
three?
tired
Any of the three, I
playbook.
think it says.
Okay.
A bunch of
What?
lies.
Oh, we're talking about the bingo
grievances,
cards, aren't we?
And name calling.
Yeah.
What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan
Damn.
called Project 2025.
Project
Drink.
25.
Former
Drink.
president intends on
Drink.
implementing if he
She's
were
winning.
elected again. I believe
According to
very
what?
strongly
She's hit 4.
that the
He's only hit
American
1.
people
Oh, on the
want
bingo
a
cards.
President
I think
who
he did some
understands
we
the
missed, though.
importance of bringing us together, knowing we
He
have
had
so
to have
much
said
more
making
in
great
common than
America
what
great again.
separates
Not yet.
us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Americans.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025.
Drink.
That's out there.
Damn,
I haven't
another
read it.
one.
I don't
Guys.
want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad. But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows
Some
I'm an
good,
open
some
book.
bad.
Everybody knows
Why do you
what
even
I'm
have
gonna
to say
do.
that?
Cut taxes very
He did.
substantially and create a great economy like I did before.
Like he's
We
got
had
a.
the
They both
greatest
have a
economy.
lot
We
of
got
word
hit with the
salad.
pandemic. And the
Well,
pandemic
I think
was
they're
not
also trying to
since
trigger each other.
1917, where
That's
100
each
million
other.
people
Each
died.
one of their
Has there
goals
been
is to
anything
trigger
like it?
the
We
other.
did a
Set the other
phenomenal
one
job
up.
with the pandemic.
So it's like
We handed
Matt
them
and I
over
talking like
a
this. Hi,
country
like
where
Matt.
the
How are
economy
you?
and where the
hello.
stock market was
Stop.
higher than it was
I'm kind
before
of
the
scared.
pandemic came
Can't
in.
say anything.
Nobody's ever seen anything
that.
like it. We made
Gotcha.
ventilators for the entire
What if they
world.
just started
We
making
got
out?
gowns, we got masks.
You
we
made
did things that
ventilators. That's what
nobody
killed
thought possible.
everybody.
And people give me credit.
Yeah,
for
he always
rebuilding
throws
the
that in there,
military.
doesn't
They
he?
give me
He's like,
credit for a
isn't
lot
that
of
what we
things,
weren't supposed to be
but not
doing?
enough credit for
Ventilators.
the great job we did with the
Ventilation
pandemic. But
of
the
the
only
lungs.
jobs they got were bounce back
Most
jobs.
beautiful
These were
ventilators
jobs
ever.
bounce back, and it bounced back, and it went to their
Celebrates
benefit,
ending
but I
row.
was the one that created
That's a
them.
bad
They
one.
know
Like,
it, and so does
Where's
everybody
that
else.
one?
Ending Roe? What?
Where's
So-
that
Roe
one?
versus Wade.
Oh,
Donald
yeah,
Trump
yeah,
has
yeah.
no plan for you.
Oh, yeah.
And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about
I don't
tax
think he'll
breaks
say
for
that.
the richest people.
First off,
I am offering.
I don't
what
think he's
I've
going to say
described
he
as an
celebrates
opportunity
ending Roe.
economy,
That's
and the
that would
best
be
economists in
stupid.
our country, if not
Okay,
the
Kamala.
world, have
Neither
reviewed
one of
our
y'all care about
relative
either of us.
plans for the future
Any
of
of us.
They
America.
care about me, man.
What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan
Y'all care
would
about
make
power
the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the
sex.
economy.
And I don't give a
What
shit
the
about
White
Goldman
House school
Sachs.
has said
How come
is
she doesn't
Donald
use that
Trump's
crate
plan
away on her neck?
would actually
That lotion that
explode
women
the
can do
deficit.
for their skin?
16
Maybe she
Nobel
does.
laureates
Maybe
have
not.
described
Maybe
his
regardless of the amount that
economic
she
plan
puts
as
on, it
something
still
that
doesn't
would
work.
Increase
Yeah.
inflation,
She
and by
needs
the
silly
middle
putty,
of
man.
next
That's a
year,
reptilian
invite
throat you're
a
seeing there.
recession.
It is.
You just have to look
All
at
the news
where we
people are
and
reptilian.
where we stand on
I feel
the
like we're
issues.
the
And I'd
only
invite you
humans
to
that
know
are
that
covering
Donald
this.
Trump
There's
actually
us
has
three.
no
The
plan
rest
for
are
you
reptilians.
because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
Kamala. Kamala.
I went to the Wharton
Kamala.
School of
Uh-oh.
Finance.
They messed up
many
his
of those
mic game.
professors, the top
I think they're doing
professors,
that
Well, they're
on
turning it
purpose.
on.
My plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great
It's
plan.
Mixmaster
a plan
Mike
that's
over there
gonna
with a fader.
bring
I
up
think
our-
it is.
our worth, our
I think
value
that's
as
they're
a
trying to
country.
do that to trigger show
People
like
wanna
they're trying to
be
get
able
any
to
kind
go
of
and
sound
work,
that the opponent makes to
create
like they're
jobs and
over.
create a lot of good,
They got the mic
solid
cranked.
money for our country.
The pickup.
Just to finish off,
Or whatever you call
she
it.
Well, he looks
doesn't
like he's
have
been in a
plan.
boxing
She copied
match.
Biden's plan,
Like he's.
and it's like
Well, he did get
4
shot a few weeks
sentences.
ago.
Oh,
Like
yeah, you're
run,
right.
Spot, run. 4
How come his
sentences
ear's
that
still
are just,
intact? Look,
oh,
there's
we'll
nothing
try and
wrong
lower
with his ear.
taxes.
I think
She
silly
doesn't
putty,
have a
man.
plan. Take a look at
Oh,
her
by the
plan.
way, y'all
She
got to see
doesn't
my
have a
foot.
plan.
Looks great.
Did you play the soundbite? I didn't hear it on the way.
Vice President
I have
brought
not
up
yet.
The bacon
tariffs,
foot one?
and you responded, and let's
Is there a
drill down
bacon
on
foot
this,
soundbite?
because your
No,
plan
it's something
is
I.
what she calls is
I'll
essentially
save
a
it.
national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on
Drink.
foreign imports across the board.
Where's
the
You
tariffs
actually
one? I
said
don't
that you
see
might
it.
double your
Trump
plan,
tax.
imposing
Oh,
tariffs
Trump
up to
tax again.
20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say
We're
that
not
with tariffs
going
at
back.
that level cost should
Joy.
be passed on to the consumer.
Have they said anything
Vice
about
President
unrealized
Harris has
capital
argued
gains
that it'll
for
be higher prices on
billion-dollar
gas,
corporations
food,
yet?
clothing, medication.
Yeah,
arguing
they
it
did right
costs
at the
the
very
typical
beginning.
family
Oh, they
member
did?
Is that on here?
$4,000.
That was under
Do you
Kamala's.
believe Americans
That's
can
one
afford
thing
higher
that
prices
she is
because of
pushing
tariffs?
for.
We're not going to have
Oh,
higher
it's not on
prices.
the-
What's going to have,
Oh, I
and
thought
who's
maybe it
going
was
to
on
have
the
higher
bingo
prices
board.
is
Oh,
China
I don't know if
and
it is.
all of the
China.
countries that have been
China.
ripping us off for
Hold on.
years. I was the only president ever. China was
Please
paying
say
us
windmill.
hundreds of billions of
Come on,
dollars,
sharks.
and so were other countries.
Sharks.
And you know,
Well,
she doesn't like
electrocution.
them. They should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars.
on.
I had no
Windmills.
inflation, virtually no inflation.
When
They
you
had
guys
the
have
highest
sex,
inflation
does it sound like
perhaps in
mac
the
and cheese
history of our
noises?
country, because I've never seen a worse period of time.
Is that mac and cheese
People
you're eating?
can't go out and buy cereal or
Depends.
bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country
Depends
are
if I'm raw dogging or
absolutely
not.
dying with what they've done.
Just wondering.
They've destroyed
I
the
mean,
economy.
mac and
all
cheese
you have to
noises
do
are
is
fun.
look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great,
Oh.
that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response. And you heard what
Governor
the president
Waltz
said there,
shout
because
out.
the Biden administration did keep a number
I'm
of
waiting
the
for that
Trump
one.
tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration
Let me be clear.
resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about
Oh, yeah,
his
reproductive
deal
freedom, that's
with
gonna be a
China.
big one.
What he ended up doing is
Is
under
that- how is there
Donald
no
Trump's
China on
presidency,
here?
he ended up selling American chips to China to
China.
help them improve and modernize their military.
China.
Basically sold us out, when a policy about
That's not
China
true.
should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the
According
21st century.
to everything
which
that was
means
said this week,
focusing
that's not
on
true.
the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies,
'Cause it was the AI chip
focusing on
thing.
investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing.
Oh, is AI in
focusing
here?
on what we need to do.
Do either
to
one of them
support
understand
America's
quantum computing? I barely
so that
understand
we
it.
don't end up having
And I'm
to
younger
be
than
on
them.
the short end
Man,
of the
they're still
stick
on Control
in
Alt
terms of
Delete.
workers'
They're still on
rights.
Apple II.
But
Like
what
they
Donald
don't have
Trump
much
did,
more
let's
computer
talk
knowledge
about
than
this,
me.
Or
with
IBM
COVID,
PCs running
is he
BASIC.
actually thanked President Xi for what he did
President
during COVID.
He?
Look at his tweet.
No, President Xi.
Thank you, President Xi! Exclamation point.
Well, now I'm confused.
When
Is
we
it a he
know
or she?
that Xi was responsible
I just made
for
that joke.
lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like
That
they
is
have,
true.
and
Intel has
policies
stopped.
like
Intel
they
is.
have. I don't say her because she.
You remember
has
when
completely
Texas
stopped.
Instruments used to be at the top of the
Everything
game?
that she
Right over here in
believed 3
Dallas.
years ago and 4 years ago
Yeah.
is out the window.
I'm surprised
She's
they
going
still
to my
exist in any form.
philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my.
Is that on there?
No,
got
MAGA
anything,
is,
she
but it's
changed
not.
it.
It says
And
he has to
that
say
will be
"Make
the end of
America
our
great
country.
again."
She's a
full.
Marxist.
Look, she's even
Everybody knows
laughing.
She's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics.
There we go.
And
They're
he taught her
triggering
well.
Marxist.
But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at
She looks
these
like she's
millions
playing a
and
role.
millions
Look
of
at her
people that are
with
pouring into our country
her hand up
monthly,
under her
where
chin,
it's,
going,
I believe,
"Really?"
21
Like
million
Dr.
people,
Evil.
not
No, this
six
is what they
people
trained her to
say,
do, though.
and I think
Is
it's
when
a
he
lot
starts
higher
going
than
on
the
a
21.
run,
Yeah,
they
to-
trained her
Bigger
to
than
do
New
this.
York
Yeah.
State, pouring
Make her
in,
look
and
up
just
like
look at
she's
what's
Like
been
you're
offended.
strong and you're
country.
offended. You're
They're
like,
criminals.
you've got
Many
control
of
of
these
this. You're
people
like,
coming
okay,
in are
you just keep
criminals,
talking, old
and
man.
that's bad for our
Yeah, she's
economy,
gonna
too.
she's
You know,
gonna
you mentioned
react to
before, we'll
him.
talk about
Everything
immigration
that he
later.
says like
Well,
he's a
bad
racist.
immigration
Is
the
what
worst
they're gonna
thing that
do.
can happen to our economy.
She is.
They have, and she has
Like, he could say,
destroyed our country.
I
with
like
policy
macaroni and
that's
cheese,
insane.
and she
Almost
would be like,
policies that you'd say
the
they have to hate our
audacity.
country.
President Trump.
Just the blatant
What if he just
racism.
turned to her and went, "When you have sex, does it sound like
Like
mac
macaroni
and
and
cheese
cheese?
noises?"
Come to think of it, it does. That
They agree on
spaghetti.
something,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Ah.
"All right." And they shake hands again.
Yeah, then Trump's like, Kamala, do you like websites? And I was
Uh-oh,
like, I
here
do
we
like
go.
websites. Uh-oh, what happened?
This is the reproductive rights and row part.
Oh, well, reproductive rights and reproductive freedom.
I'm going to be voting that we need
we got
more than
celebrates
6 weeks. But then
ending
the very
row
next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President
That might be
Harris
it.
says that women shouldn't trust you on the
All right,
issue
here we go.
of abortion.
Let's get some points
because
here.
You've changed your position.
Women
so
should
many
never trust a
times.
man.
Therefore,
Let's get
why
some
should
drinks
they
here.
trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia,
This is
not
a
the
lie,
current
too.
governor, is doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born, and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll
Oh, man,
execute
this-
the baby.
we don't-
and
it
that's
doesn't
why
have
I
it on
did that.
here.
Because
I thought that was proven fake.
predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that.
They only
And
have
her
the,
vice presidential pick, which
the
I think was a
women's
horrible
reproductive
pick, by the way, for our
organ
country,
parts
because he is really
in
out
the
of it.
bingo game
But
and
her
not
vice
the religious
presidential
side
pick
of it
says
with the
abortion in the
anti-abortion.
9th month is absolutely
So
fine. He
we
also
might not
says
score with this.
execution
Well,
There might not be a
she'll
drink
come
on
back
this.
with
execution,
reproductive
no
freedom,
longer abortion,
and
She
because
has
the baby
to.
is born is
He's kind of
okay.
celebrating
And
Roe.
that's not okay with me.
No,
That could
he's
be a
got-
drink.
The vote. But what I did is something.
I mean,
for
there hasn't been
52
streamers
years
and
they've
stuff
been
shot
trying to
across the
get
screen
Roe
yet.
v.
Like,
Oh,
Wade
God.
Here we go.
to the states.
All right.
Through the
Nope. That's a drink.
That's a
That
drink.
was a drink, yeah.
Wait, what'd he say?
He said it's been
of
something
6
years since
Supreme Court
Roe.
justices, we were
So that's a
able to
celebration
do
of
that. Now,
Roe.
I believe in the
Everyone take a
exceptions
drink.
for
Take a drink.
rape,
I think if
incest,
they
and
get
life of the
windmill
mother.
sharks
I
or
believe strongly in
electrocution,
Ronald Reagan did
It's
also.
over.
85%
yeah, then
of
you win the game.
Republicans
We
did.
Or
win.
Hannibal
It's
Lecter.
over.
Exceptions,
Or
very
those
important.
two, it's game's
But we
over.
were
Hey, I
able
actually
to
had some
do it,
fava
and
beans
now
delivered to
states
me
are
today.
voting
You have
on
to
it.
drink 2
And for the
bottles.
first time, you're going to
Like,
see,
those
look,
are 2
this is
bottle
an
drinks.
issue
You got to
that's
go get
torn
a
our
swig of
country apart
whiskey. That's what
for
you got to do on that
52
one.
years.
So if you're
Every
playing
legal
along with
scholar,
Kamala
every
and
Democrat,
Donnie,
every Republican, liberal,
that's what you got to do
conservative,
if you
they
get
all
this.
wanted this issue to be
Everybody's like,
brought
"Where's
back
this
to the states
damn
where the people could vote?"
board?
And that's what happened. And now,
I
Ohio,
actually got these
the vote
bingo
was somewhat
cards
liberal.
from the
Kansas,
Kamala
the vote was
Walls
somewhat liberal,
Oh, yeah.
much more
website.
liberal than people would have thought.
So this was
But
their
each
party put these
individual
together.
State is voting. It's
So
the
it's kind of
vote
awesome
the
that-
people now. It's not tied up in the federal
Yeah,
government.
that's why she's
I did a
scoring
great
better,
service in doing it. It
Dustin.
took courage to do it.
Makes
And the
sense now.
Supreme
That's
Court
what.
had
That's
great
why.
Well, she has more
she has
blue
more
on here than
and I
there's
give
red, right?
Tremendous credit
Oh,
to
is
those
there?
6 justices.
I think so.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to
Oh,
your
yeah.
response to President Trump?
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually
Right
a
there,
surprising
she
fact.
said that.
Let's understand what we got here.
Something lies. Where is it?
Donald Trump
lies about his
hand-selected
record.
3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did
Lies about his fight.
There is lies about his record.
And now in over 20
she didn't
states,
say that.
there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal
What's a
for
Trump
a
abortion
doctor
ban?
or nurse to provide health care in
That's
one
what Texas
state,
has
it
in
provides
play.
prison for
Well,
life.
yeah,
can't get an
they rolled
abortion in
back
the state
their
of Texas.
Abortion bans
yeah
that
they
make
rolled
no
back their
exception
state
even for
laws that
rape
were
and
in place
incest,
before
which
Roe v. Wade,
understand
which
what that means.
It was a national
illegal.
law.
Survivor
They rolled
of
it
a
back down to the
crime of
states.
violation
No, I
of
know,
their
States had it.
body
but
does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral.
Hold on. She gonna say
And
it.
one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held
Let's see.
beliefs to agree. The government
Reproductive freedom
and Donald
is what
Trump
we want.
certainly
But you worship
should
Satan.
not be telling
We have
a
to-
woman
we have
what
to have,
do
reproductive
with
freedom.
her body. I have talked
There it
with
is.
women around
I think she has
our
to
country.
say it,
You want
right?
to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency
His
room
training
because
was
the
just to
healthcare
be
providers are afraid
stone-faced?
they might go to
Probably.
jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or
I
13-year-old
thought the Democrats wanted to kill everyone, wanted to lower the Earth population.
to term, they don't want
I
that.
thought that's what Bill Gates was doing.
And I pledge to you
I don't know. They're letting
Populist
her go
passes a
on and
bill
on, though,
to
aren't
put
they?
back in place the
Well, it's supposed to be
protections of
time.
Roe v.
Yeah,
Wade.
that's what I
As
was gonna
President
say.
of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be
So, in
reelected,
Texas,
he will sign a national
nothing
abortion
changed.
ban. Understand,
Because
in his
our
Project
state laws were
2025, there
pro
would be a
or
national
pro-life
abortion,
anyway.
a
Yeah.
monitor
So there
that
was
would
no
be
change in
monitoring your
Texas.
No, you could get
pregnancies,
abortions
your
done here.
miscarriages.
Is that
I think
so?
the
I,
American
I didn't think you
people
could after the
believe
repeal.
that
Well,
certain
after it's been
freedoms,
repealed, yeah,
in
but before
particular
that,
the
yeah,
freedom
yeah,
of
before you
religion
could.
Roe
of
versus
one's
Over
own
off
versus
Las
Wade.
Vegas Trail.
should not be
Roe
made by the
though,
government.
that didn't have anything
you,
to do
Vice
with
President
any
Harris.
state
Well,
Well,
decisions.
there she
So
goes again.
It
all
was
it give, all Roe does is
I'm
give
not
it
signing
to
a
the
ban,
states to
and
make
there's
the
no
decision.
reason
It
to
Now,
doesn't. It
now
doesn't
that
make
it's
it outright.
gone, it goes back to the
Everybody
states.
wanted.
When it
Yeah, it goes
when
back to
the
states.
Right.
Supreme
Republicans
Court
and everybody else and every legal scholar
made their
wanted it to
decision
be
on it
broken
went back to
back
the
originally,
states.
it
it
was-
was
States
a
are voting.
national thing.
National,
And it
a
may take
national. It was
little
legal
time,
then.
But
Yeah.
for
Okay.
52 years, this issue has torn our country apart. And they wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting.
He's celebrating
What she says
ending it
is
again,
an
so
absolute lie.
I'm gonna say
And
drink.
As far as the abortion ban,
Drink.
no, I'm not in favor of
On the
abortion ban. but it
celebrate
doesn't
ending
matter
Roe,
because
he
this
specifically
issue has
mentioned
now been
Roe
taken
earlier,
over
though.
by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it
Well,
came
I
to your
won't
desk?
have to because, again,
It's
two
the
things.
states.
Number one, she
It's
said
already
she'll go
with the
back to
states.
Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50, and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not
You're
going to
wasting
get the vote.
time.
She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's
I
just
wanna
talk.
know,
You know what it
do you
reminds
like
me of
mac
when
and
they said they're going
cheese?
to get student loans terminated, and it
They
ended
shake
up being
hands.
a total catastrophe.
Like,
The student loans, and then
I worship Satan. So do
I
I.
think probably
They shake
her
hands.
boss, if you call him a boss,
Hail
he spends
Satan.
all his time on the beach. But
Let's
look,
go to the Yellow Rose
her boss
afterwards.
went out
They shake
and
hands.
said, we'll do it again.
And Jeremy's
we'll do
like,
it a
"Damn
different
it."
way. He went
God
out,
damn
got
it.
And
rejected
Saddam
again by
and
Supreme
the devil
Court.
are there.
So all these students got
They're all partying.
taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea.
Taunted.
And how unfair that would have been. Part of the reason they lost.
What is he
to
rambling
the
about?
millions and millions of
I don't
people
know.
that had to pay off their student
I'm
loans.
lost too.
They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your
He looks-
running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Oh, so
Well,
he
I
didn't
did
answer the
discuss it
question.
with,
So
JD, in
that's
all
a drink.
fairness. JD,
Where's
and
that at?
I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have
Where's
to
it at?
discuss it because
Oh.
she'd
The
never
top
be
one
able to
doesn't
get
answer
it,
questions.
just like she couldn't
Yep,
get
second
student
row.
loans.
I
They
know he
couldn't get
wasn't
student
doing
loans.
it.
They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They
I'm looking at the
taunted
top board.
young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved.
I like how I'm
So
making
it
this
doesn't matter what she
confusing.
says about going to
I'm gonna
Congress.
send
Well,
this board
wonderful.
to you,
Let's go
Tom.
to Congress, do it. But the fact is
Yeah,
that
'cause
for
he'll
years
hear
they
all
wanted
of
to
them.
get it out of Congress and out of the
Thomas
federal
will nail
government.
all
and
of
we
them.
did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now
There you
you
go.
have a vote of
Trump
the people
tax.
on
I
abortion.
just need to drop back
Vice President Harris, want to
Oh,
give you
gets
time
cut
to
off by
respond, but I do wanna
moderators.
ask, would you
Just did,
support
right?
any restrictions
Yeah.
on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under under Donald Trump's abortion
I
bans.
wouldn't say nowhere in
Couples
America
who
because there is
pray
some dark and seedy
and-
shit that
and
happens, like in the
dream
streets of New
having a
Orleans.
family.
Yeah.
are being denied IVF treatments.
I don't know why they're harping on
What
this.
is
This isn't going
happening
to
in our
change anyone's
country?
minds that's going to vote one way or the
People,
other. The
working
people that
women
have decided they're going to make their vote about abortion, they've already decided.
Well, that's the whole thing with this debate. The people that have already.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much decided.
It's just interesting to see what. Now you can actually see what their policies are because she hasn't said a damn thing about policy.
No, she's just insulted him. That's all she's done is talk shit about him, really.
Which card is mine?
I think they're all
the same.
They're
just,
are they?
Scrambled up.
So just focus on one of them and you'll be fine. It's throwing me off the whole time.
I didn't know if either of you have chosen like a card.
She's ahead.
to stuck with.
Yeah, she's nailing all of them.
It's 7-3.
Have voted for freedom.
Freedom.
Oh, freedom.
Yep.
Freedom's in there.
That's a wild card.
That's the wild. Yeah, that's the big one. That's it. We should add. That should be a 3 drinker. You know what?
8-3.
3 drinks of water.
And did she say reproductive freedom?
In fact,
No, I just
when
heard
they
freedom.
got a very negative decision
say
on
freedom?
IVF from the Alabama courts.
Freedom.
I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature
just in
2
Alabama.
days later voted
Yep,
it
you
in.
were.
I've
Fine,
been a
fine
leader
state.
on it.
The
They
poorest
know
state
that,
in the
and
union.
everybody else knows
I
it.
thought Louisiana
I have
was.
been a leader
No.
on
I guess they put all their money into the
fertilization,
beaches because
IVF.
they're
And the other thing,
immaculate.
They,
Alabama,
you should ask.
or is it Mississippi?
Would
One of
she
those
allow
two. They go back
abortion
and
in the
forth.
8th
They're right
month,
on the line.
9th month, 7th
I
month.
thought maybe it was between that and West
Okay,
Virginia.
Would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you
That's
answer
the
the
problem.
question? Would you
Because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question. Would you veto?
you could do abortions
One at a
in the
time.
7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably
What
after
if
birth.
what if Trump just
look at
fucking
the
picks
governor,
up
former
his
governor of
his
Virginia? The
like,
governor of Virginia
what do they
said
call
we
'em?
put the baby aside and then we determine what we want
Podiums.
to say.
Alabama's way up there now.
and just chunks it. That's because the beach, man.
We know it's an issue that's
It's-
important
it's-
to Republicans.
Puerto
Democrats,
Rico is
voters
the
across
worst
the board,
if you
in
count
this
territory
country.
and state.
Vice President
Then
Harris,
Mississippi,
you
then
were tasked by
Louisiana.
President Biden with getting
You
to
were
the
right.
root causes of
Then West
migration
Virginia.
from Central
Damn.
America.
New
We
Mexico.
know that illegal border crossings reached a
gonna
record
do 'em all
high in the
50
Biden
real quick?
administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough
That's
new
what I would
asylum
ask. I would
restrictions. We
say,
know
hey,
the numbers since then
what's
have
the
dropped
capital of
significantly.
North Dakota,
But my
sir?
question to you tonight is
And
why
he
did
wouldn't
the
be able to get it.
administration
It's
wait until
Bismarck.
6 months before
I'd
the
go,
election
Trump
to
wouldn't
act?
get it, and then
And
I'd
would
be
you
like,
have done
ma'am,
anything differently from
ma'am.
President Biden on this?
What if Dave
So I'm the only
Grohl's
person on this stage
fun
who
baby
has
that he just
prosecuted
announced?
transnational
What?
criminal organizations for the
Him and
trafficking
Rita.
of guns, drugs,
Just
and
like
human
kidding.
beings.
You didn't see the news?
And let me say that the United States
joke.
About Dave
Congress,
Grohl? No,
including
is this
some
a
of the most
joke?
It's a joke.
conservative members of the
No,
United
mine was a
States
joke.
His
Dave
is a joke.
Grohl,
came up
though,
with
really.
Dave Grohl made an
Yeah.
announcement today that he had an out of
which I
wedlock baby.
supported. And
A
that bill
daughter.
would have put
Huh.
1,500
From
more
before his
border
But it's because she
agents
didn't
on
have
border
access
help
to
those folks who are working there right now
Right.
overtime
Abortion
trying to
care.
do their job.
They were in
Terrible.
Texas at the
It
time,
would
weren't
have
they?
allowed
God.
us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming
Seems like
into
they
the
could have
United
waited
States.
till
Wait,
the next day
I know
to
there
We're
are
on the
some
fun
families
stuff. We're on
watching tonight
fentanyl.
who've been
Fentanyl's got to
personally
be in here.
affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country.
Sharks with
That
fentanyl.
bill would have put
No,
more
fentanyl is
resources
not
to
in
allow
this.
us to prosecute
Anything about
transnational
fentanyl in
criminal
here?
organizations.
I'm gonna
for
look another one
trafficking
up.
in
You
guns
can't
and
call them
human beings. You know what
transnational.
happened to
No,
that
that's
bill?
offensive.
That's not woke.
Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd
He loves
prefer to
fentanyl.
run on a problem instead of
He's
fixing
powered by
a
fentanyl.
problem. And understand, this comes
Because the
at a
fentanyl
time
boobies coming up
where
from
the
the
people
border.
of our country
Fentanyl
actually
boobies?
need a leader
Fentanyl titties.
who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would
Well,
prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a
It's a
problem.
robot,
And I'll tell you
fentanyl
something,
robot.
he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the
Fentanyl
subject that is
robot.
being raised. And I'm going to actually do something
He's
really
got a little
unusual.
hat
Oh, she's
I'm
gonna
gonna
rip off her
invite you
face.
Uh-oh.
to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter.
Yes! Oh, yes!
Yeah, there's
Game
one.
over.
Cancer. And what you will also notice is that
Did you really get a bingo off of that?
rallies early, out of exhaustion
Dude,
and
we were
boredom.
saying that that's an
And I
ender
will
if
tell
he
you
does
one
that.
thing you will not
He
see him
talked
talk
about.
about
It was
is you.
brought up.
You
Yeah,
will
man.
not hear him talk about
Drink
your needs,
up.
your dreams,
I think
Finish
this
your
is-
drink.
I
Time
think
to start a new
I'm
one.
starting to think it's
And I'll
Russian
tell you, I
collusion.
believe you deserve
Well, she
a
made this
president
up.
who actually
I think
puts
it's
you
Russian
first, and I
collusion.
pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris.
Maybe
So,
these are
President
her
Trump, on that
talking
point, I
points,
wanna
and
get
she's
your
just
response.
going
Would you
down
like
the
to
list.
respond?
Windmills,
So
sharks,
why did you
or
try to kill that
electrocution.
bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional
Why?
agents and officers on
he
the
wasn't
board?
in
Here's how we
office, though,
responded
right?
to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go,
Yeah,
she's
there
busing
is.
them in
She has
and paying
people
them to be
twerking
there.
at them.
and then showing them in a
Singing about
different
their
light.
pussies.
Like who, Megan Thee
she can't
Stallion?
talk about
Yep.
that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the
Oh,
most incredible
God.
rallies.
Unless,
in the history of politics.
they're
Who gives a
snipers.
fuck?
Because people want to take their country back.
Who cares about how big your rallies are?
We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And
With windmills.
What's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject.
World War III's got to
What
be
they
in
have
there.
done
It's already
to our country
happening.
by
Damn
allowing
it. We're
these
in World War
Just not
millions
calling
and
it that.
millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And
All
a lot
over.
of towns don't want to talk. Not
I heard that too. All over.
A lot of towns don't want to
All
talk
over.
about it because they're so
What about North
embarrassed.
Dallas?
In Springfield,
Now, fuck that, Oak
they're
Cliff.
eating the dogs. The people
Oak
that
Cliff
And the
is
cats.
okay
they're
now.
eating the cats.
I saw the
They're
video.
I
of
saw
them
the
eating
video.
cats.
That's
They're
weird.
That's what I was
eating
talking
the
about before the
pets
show,
of
man.
the people that live there.
And you were-
Imagine
And
walking
this is what's
outside trying
happening
to
in our
fucking check your
country,
mail.
and it's a shame.
Some
As far as
motherfucker's eating a cat in your
rallies are
front yard.
concerned, as
Your
far
like
as
family
the
cat.
reason they go is they like what I say.
That's
They
not
wanna
right.
bring our
No,
country
that'd be
back.
two to the
They wanna make
kneecaps.
America
And
great
hey,
again. It's a
come
very simple
pick up
phrase.
this bag
Make
of shit
America
from my
great again.
yard. I just
She's
killed.
destroying this country, and if she
That ate my
becomes
family
president,
cat.
this
That
country
ate my
doesn't have a
cat.
chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just
On
want to clarify, you bring up
steroids?
Springfield, Ohio, and
Yeah,
ABC News
The
did
Simpsons.
reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals
Look
within
on
the, immigrant
the internet.
community.
Well,
All
I've seen
this-
people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
The people on
this is a
television say
clar-
my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by
This is
the
all
people that
set
went
up
there.
to try to make him look
Again,
as bad
Springfield
as
city manager
possible.
says there's no
Well, of
evidence of that.
course.
Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond.
We'll
to this.
find out.
All of these are set up to whoever they don't like,
Extreme.
and they're running.
You know, this
You know,
is
I-
one of the reasons why.
Yeah, she
in
might have
this
screwed up on that
election,
one.
I actually have the endorsement
I think-
Y'all, face
of
off.
200
I'm gonna say she's winning right now.
Is endorsement
who
on
have
here? Let me
formerly
see.
worked with
Oh, on our
President
game, on the
Bush,
board?
Mitt
Yeah.
Yeah,
Romney,
she's killing
and
it.
John McCain,
No, I mean,
including
like as
the
one of the squares.
endorsement
Yeah.
of
On
former
the
Vice
actual
President Dick
debate,
Cheney
I don't think
and
anyone's
Congress
winning.
member Liz
They're
Cheney.
just
Look,
And
I
if
opened
you
Twitter.
wanna really
Okay,
know
in the first
the
video that
inside
came up.
track on
the
who
third
the former
screen
president
is
is,
the
if you
Ohio
didn't
cop
make it clear
is a
body
already,
cam.
meme. No, it's a
just
meme.
ask people who have worked
Remember
with
when
him.
illegal
His
aliens who
former
ate
chief of
cats was
staff, a
fiction?
four-star
Good times,
general,
and it's
has
Alf
said he has contempt
Yeah.
for the Constitution
with a
of the
cat
States.
between two pieces of bread.
His former national
Gordon
security
Shumway
advisor has said he
from
is
the
dangerous
planet
and
Meldeck.
unfit.
The next
His
one
former
is a
Secretary of
picture
Defense has said
Are we
the nation,
behind?
the Republic would
of
never
the,
survive another Trump
that's kind of
term.
like the Chick-fil-A.
And
Yeah.
when
And it
we
says,
listen
"Eat less
to
kittens."
this kind of rhetoric,
So are we
when the
behind, or is that
issues
just how
that
quick
affect the
memes get
American
made these
people
days,
are
or are they
not being
pre-made
addressed, I think
as
the
part
choice
of
is clear in this
propaganda?
election.
No one ate your cats when I was
dun,
president.
dun.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired.
you're a
those
robot.
people.
I like anal.
Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job.
Giving it,
I fired
taking
them.
it,
They never fired
forcing it.
one person. They didn't fire anybody
Holding
having
them,
to
playing
do
with them.
Afghanistan and the
Like
Taliban
for them
and the
puts
13
me
people
be on my face when
who's-
I'm hungover.
who's-
Kind of puts me to
were
sleep.
just killed viciously and violently killed.
Remember
and I
when
got to know the
Russian
parents and the
prostitutes
family.
peed on him?
They didn't fire. They should have fired.
No, they
all
peed
those
on his
generals, all
on
those
Obama's
top
bed.
people, because that was one of the most
They were gonna. They were.
I thought
he
they
was
were-
having
they
a-
peed on Trump.
Well,
was he involved too? He
No
was there?
prostitute peed on my bed.
I thought he just hired them to pee on the bed that he was going to stay in. That was
he was
the
no good. I
rumor.
fired him, so he writes a
So
book.
these are all
Another
like
one
several
writes a book,
hours
Because
old.
with me, they can write books. With
Make
nobody
cats
else
safe
can they?
again.
Oh, because
But
yeah, this has
they
been
have
all
done
over
such
the
a poor
TikToks
job,
and the
and they
X,
never
like in
fire
the
anybody.
you, like
Look
all the
at
social media has been
economy.
all
Look
about
at
the
the inflation.
Hear me
the
out.
lady
They
eating
fire
the kitten.
any of their
Oh, you said inflation.
economists.
Is
They
that
have
on
the
here?
same people. That's
Hear me
the
out.
way
We let
not
the
to have
Haitians
books
eat the
written about
furries.
you. But just to finish, I got more votes
There you go. That's
than
all
any
Trump needs right
Republican
there.
in history.
That'll
by
win it.
far. In fact, I got more votes
All
than
those
any
trans
president, sitting
kids that are
president
that decided
in
they're going to
history
take it
by
one
far.
step further and become furries.
Was it in
That's why we
Springfield?
brought in these Haitians.
Hey, was it in
Earlier, so
Springfield
let's
where
get
the
back to
guy
your
got the duck?
deportation,
It might have been.
That the
And
vice
was eating a duck in the middle of the park.
There was two. I saw it today right before I came over.
This the largest
You know, I'm working right
deportation
beside
operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard.
Chisholm
you say
Park
if things
now.
get out of control, you'd have no
I'm gonna
problem
keep an eye
using
out
the
there,
US
and if I see any
military.
Haitians eating
You
ducks,
also
I'm
said you would
recording that
use local
shit.
police. How
Dude.
would you deport 11
They got a
million
special way
undocumented
of
immigrants? I know
preparing
you
them, too.
believe that number is much higher.
I'm not gonna lie,
Take us
man.
through this. What does
I've
this
had
look
some
like?
duck
Will
that
authorities
tastes
be
pretty
going door to
good.
door in this country?
Yeah.
It is much higher
if a
because of them.
Somalian or
They
Haitian
allowed
asked me to come eat some duck, I might think about it,
millions of criminals.
especially if I'm
They
high.
allowed terrorists. They
Got the
allowed
munchies a little bit.
common street
He's
criminals.
like, dude,
They
don't worry,
allowed
man. We got
people
honey
to come in,
mustard. We're
drug
like, I'm in.
dealers to come into our country, and they're now in
Or
the
some blue
United
cheese.
States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come
Venezuela.
back or we're going to kill you.
Well,
do you know that crime in Venezuela
we do have
and crime
to
in countries all
be
over
realistic
the world
that
is way down?
the reason
You know why?
Venezuela went to
Because
hell
they've
is
taken
because
their
of
criminals
Obama.
off the street and they've given
Yeah,
them
they're
to
coming back
her
to get
put
get
into our
hell. They
country.
have hell to pay, or
This
they're
will
going to
be
give
one
us
of
hell
the
to pay.
greatest mistakes
Yeah.
in history for them to
Yeah.
allow, and I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've
fabric
done. There's
of our
never been
life.
anything done
If
like
Kamala's
this at all.
president,
They
she can just drone
destroyed
them.
the fabric of our country. Millions of people
cotton
let in, and
is the
all over the
fabric
world,
of our
crime is
life.
down all over the world except
What about
here.
mac and cheese
Crime
noises?
Here is up and through the roof, despite their fraudulent statements that they made. Crime in this country is through the roof.
Do you think they make
and
mac
we
and
have a new
cheese noises in
form of
that scene in
crime. It's
American
called
Psycho?
migrant crime, and it's happening
Maybe.
at levels that nobody
Dude,
thought possible.
President
You
Trump,
need to
as
watch
you know,
The
FBI
Terror.
says overall
The
violent
Terror?
crime is actually
Awesome,
coming down in this
dude.
country.
It's on
What?
Vice
Netflix.
Excuse me,
President
the
Oh,
FBI
okay. I was
they were
about to ask.
defrauding
Kick his
states.
ass, Trump.
They didn't
Go slap that
include the
bitch.
worst cities. They didn't
Slap my
include the
bitch
cities
up.
with the worst crime.
Listen to me,
It
David
was
Muir.
a fraud,
Smack. He
just
walked
like
over and
there
smacked him and then walked off. That'd be the biggest thing in the
jobs
Look
fucking
how
world.
I'd vote for him immediately. I'd be like, can I early vote?
Let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich.
Notice how
Coming from
eloquently
someone
he
who has
holds
been
his Sharpie,
prosecuted.
the moderator.
Oh,
National
What'd he say?
What'd you say?
security crimes,
he was
economic
he was
crimes,
prosecuted.
Sharks?
election interference
Was there anything in there?
has been found
No.
Election interference,
liable
is that one of
for
them?
sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is
Whoa.
in November at his own
See,
criminal
this is
sentencing.
all stuff that we
And
already
let's be
know, though.
clear.
We need to know
Where
your
each person
policies, Kamala.
stands
We
on
don't know
the
your
issue of
policies.
What is important about
How's
I-
respect for
I do
rule of
too,
law
Susie.
What's your
and
policies?
respect for
Well,
law
Susie's in the
enforcement.
chat room.
The
She's like, this is
former
devolving
vice
to straight
president called for
mudslinging.
That's all it
defunding
is, yeah.
I wish they would
federal
talk
law enforcement.
policy.
Yeah, someone talk some
45,000
policies.
agents.
I don't think either
Get
one of them
this.
have policies
On the day
anymore.
after
He
was
does,
arraigned
but
on
hers are
34
just got
felony
posted
counts.
like yesterday.
So let's
I want to
talk
hear
about
hers.
what is important.
Everybody
They
knows
really
what
did
Trump's
post
gonna
hers?
do.
It is important that
Yesterday.
we move
I
forward,
didn't even see
that we
that.
turn
They're
the
all
page on this
there's some
same
asinine
old
stuff.
tired rhetoric and
Both of them have
address
asinine
the
stuff.
needs of the American people.
What about as of
Address
10?
What we need to
There you
do
go.
about the housing shortage, which I have a plan
So
for.
underrated,
Address
dude.
what we must do to
That's a dad
support
joke.
small
The problem
businesses.
is
Address
she's
bringing
pretty
down the
much in
price of
control right now.
groceries. But frankly,
She
the
could do
American
all
people
this
are
now. And if I
exhausted
was
So many
with
people
the
say
same
that
old
too, and
tired
it's true.
playbook.
But
Vice
here's the
President
thing:
Harris.
if
As
I
VP.
was
Excuse me.
if I was
Every
in
one of
her
those
shoes right
cases
now,
was started by
anything
them
Trump
against their
said he would do,
political
I would just
opponent.
automatically
High
do
heels?
it.
Winning most
We
of
could
them,
set
and I
that
will
up
win
if
the
you want
rest
high
on
heels. We
appeal.
could probably get
And
some
you
for
saw
you.
that with the
But I would
decision
just
that came
automatically
down
do it
just
and cut him
recently
off
from
at
the
the
Supreme
pass.
Court. I'm
Like if
winning
he
most
says
of
he's
them.
going to do
But
this,
those
cut
are
him off.
cases, it's called
Okay, I'll do it.
weaponization.
I'm in
Never
control right
happened
now.
in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General
Yeah.
of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases.
Why are
and
they even
then
talking about
they
Roe vs.
say,
Wade? She
"Oh,
could do it
he
right
was-
now.
He's a criminal." They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the
But
documents
she
case.
has
And what
she
happened
has
in my
control. She
documents
can have
case?
Joe
They
Biden
said,
put
"Oh,
it back
that's the
into
toughest of them all."
effect.
A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out.
Just start shutting
It's
him off.
weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're
President Trump.
fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Drink.
Well, let's talk about extreme and
Trump
understand
got
the
cut off by
context in which
moderators.
this election
Drink.
in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court
She's not
recently
pro-weed anymore,
ruled
though,
that
is
the
she?
former president would essentially be
Oh, she is
immune
now?
from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States. That he would
He's shaking his head. He's like, no,
weaponize
I
the
didn't.
Department
That's the
of
problem.
Justice
You can't
against
do
his
that.
political
Y'all are just
enemies.
one person.
Someone who has
Both of y'all are.
openly
Neither one of y'all have the
expressed
power to do any of
disdain
that.
for members
You can
of
talk
our
a bunch of shit.
understand what it would mean
That'll
if
look at
Donald
his
Trump were
face.
back
You're not-
in the White House with no guardrails. Because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the
What is-
American people.
Vice President
stop
Harris,
him.
thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president,
Oh, they won't let him.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized I probably took a bullet to the head because
Whoa.
of the things
bullet
that
to the
they say
head.
about me. They talk about
Shooting, yeah.
democracy. I'm a
Doesn't
threat to democracy. They're
not in
the
there.
threat to democracy with a
President
fake Russia investigation
Oh, there's another one.
that went nowhere.
Which
We have
one?
a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last
Oh,
run for
being cut off?
president, you said
Another
you
drink?
wanted to ban fracking.
Another
Now
drink.
you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings.
Weapons.
Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values
The
have
weapon
not
buyback
changed.
program.
So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
Her policy.
My values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss
Here we
one
go.
of at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear.
No.
I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking.
There's like
as
50
Vice
clips of
President
her
of the
saying
United States, and in
she's
fact,
going to ban
I was
fracking.
the
Fracking's
tie-breaking
not
vote on
good.
the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new
Yeah.
leases.
Fracking's not good, and we don't need
My
it.
position
Yeah.
We
is
have so
that
much oil
we
and
have
gas.
got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance
And
on
it
foreign
fucks up
oil. We have
cities that are
had
close
the
to it too,
Gotta
like their
open up
water
the-
supplies and shit.
in
I've read some
domestic
awful
oil
stories, man.
production
Yeah, you
in
got to open
history
up the
because of an approach
pipelines,
that
though.
recognizes
That's why they're having
that
to
we
do that,
cannot
is because they've
over-rely
shut
on
down so many
foreign oil.
pipelines.
Are you talking about the
As it
Keystone
relates to
XL,
my
the big one?
values, let me tell you,
All of
I
them,
grew up
like-
a middle-class kid.
So this is a
raised
good
by
policy,
hardworking
but
mother
she's coming at it the wrong
who
way.
worked and saved.
Everybody
and
up
was
there
able to
knows
buy our
we have
first
more
home when
oil
I
and
was a
gas
teenager.
than we fucking
The
need.
values
Town's
I
all
bring
wrong.
to the importance of home ownership,
That was
knowing
terrible.
not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy
What?
6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end of my first term.
Yeah, but are they
My
going to be
work
made
that is
solidly
related
though?
to
They're going to be
having
thrown
a
up like
friend
my
when I was
brother's
in high
home.
school who was sexually
Don't
assaulted
build
by her
them in
stepfather.
North
Sounds like your
Texas,
brother
please.
needs a
My focus
realtor.
then on protecting women and
See
children
how
from
it's
violent
done?
crime
No,
is based
he-
on a
he-
values
he has a
that
home.
is deeply grounded in the
Oh,
importance
something up with the
of
foundation?
standing up
No,
for
no,
those who
no.
are
It just
most
took forever to
vulnerable.
build.
My
Oh,
work
what was
that
the
is
builder's
about
name?
protecting
I don't
Social
remember.
Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting
Long-standing
seniors
work.
from scams. My
You could do this
values have
now.
not
Hey,
changed. And
any
what is
mention of
important is
windmills?
that there is a president who
We're getting
actually
close.
brings
We're in the energy
values
sector.
and a
Okay.
perspective that is about lifting
There will be an
people
energy
up
sector question.
and not beating
Oh, she might say
people
joy.
down.
She might say joy.
And name
Here we go.
calling.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The true measure of the leader
Because when we fight,
is
we
the
win.
leader who actually understands the strength is not
For
in
the
beating
people.
down,
We
it's
fight,
in
we
lifting
die.
people up. I
What's it-
intend
what do
to
they
be
say on,
that president.
The
President
tear
Trump,
down?
your
Well, first of
response?
all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father.
Brooklyn
and I learned a lot
represent.
from him, but I was given a fraction
Yeah, that's not
of that,
on
a
here.
tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many
Built it-
billions of dollars.
Yeah,
many,
hi-
many billions.
Well,
And
his
when
dad
people
gave
see
him
it, they are
his
even
first significant
surprised.
loan. That was like
So
$1 million,
we don't have to
which he had to
talk
pay him
about
back.
Fracking? She's been against it for 12 years.
We don't
defund
need
the
it.
police, she's been against that forever.
Fracking?
She gave all that stuff up very wrongly.
Did she give
very
up masturbation?
horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up
Maybe.
at
You need to
least
ask-
12 and
you'll need to ask her
probably
husband.
14 or 15 different policies.
Postmenopausal.
Like,
She might have given
she
it up.
was
A little
big
dry.
on defund the police. In Minnesota,
Is her husband
she
white?
went out. Wait a minute, I'm talking.
I don't remember.
What?
You don't mind, please.
If you
Does
don't
that
mind,
sound
please.
familiar?
Awesome! Take a shot.
In
Oh.
Minnesota, and wanted
Keep
to
it
let
down.
criminals
Look
that
at her
killed
face.
Does that
people,
sound familiar?
That burned down Minneapolis. She went out and raised money to get them out of jail.
That was awesome.
She did things
That
that
was a
nobody would ever
jujitsu
think of.
takedown.
Now she wants to do
Sound familiar?
transgender
What a
operations
cock-ass.
on illegal aliens.
Sound familiar?
Sound
This is a
familiar?
liberal
Keep it down.
liberal.
Sound
They do
familiar?
that. She wants to confiscate your guns.
That's gonna,
and she will
dude.
never allow
Oh, that's the
fracking
thing
in
about
Pennsylvania.
Alabama.
Show you again.
All the
If she won
beach
the election,
shirt shops and
fracking
stuff,
in
like the chains and
Pennsylvania
stuff.
will
Yeah,
end
the
on
gift
day
shops.
one.
Nothing
Just
but
to
Trump
finish one
stuff.
thing, so
Yeah.
Not
in
any
my
Kamala
opinion.
stuff. I was
That's
like,
the way it
damn.
was
how-
on the
I got the
like
oil
down in
business
Galveston.
going like
just
nobody
all
has ever
Trump
done
stuff.
before.
Yeah, it was like a whole
When they
Trump
took-
section.
when they took over,
And these were department
they got
stores.
rid of
This
it,
was
started
like
getting rid of
stuff
it,
that
and
are
the
on the
prices were going up
the West
roof.
Coast and
They
the East Coast.
immediately let these guys go to where they
What
were.
if the screen just went
I would have
static
been
and
5
dead
times,
signal,
4
like
times,
And the
5
lights went out?
times
Be like,
higher
well,
because
not
they did
here,
it 3.5
but
years
there.
ago.
They
They
get
got it up
crazy.
to where I was.
And
because
That
they
would
had
be
no
my
choice
3%.
because the prices
I
of
would
energy
win
were-
the game
were
at that
quadrupling
point.
and doubling. He sold
You would
out
win the game.
gasoline.
Hannibal
So they
Lecter.
said, let's go back to
Hannibal
Trump.
Electorate.
But if
Be
she won
over.
the election, the day
Hannibal
after that
Electorate?
That's like the.
I see what you did
they'll
there.
go back
That's
to
like
destroying
the.
our country, and oil will be dead.
That,
fossil
you know
fuel
what?
will be
That
dead.
could be
We'll
the
go
show
back to
title.
windmills,
Hannibal
and we'll go back
Lectorate.
to
Windmills.
Solar, where they need a whole
Did he say
desert
windmills?
to get
He said
some
windmills.
energy
Drink.
to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a
Solar
big fan
plant.
of solar. But they
By the
take
way, I'm a big fan of solar.
400, 500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
Did he say
not good things
windmills?
for the environment.
Did
He
say
said
windmills?
windmills.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days.
What about
And I wanna talk about
Unfortunately.
peaceful
He said
transfer
something
of
about
power,
electrical,
which,
though,
of course,
didn't
we
he?
all know is a cornerstone
But
of our
it's
democracy
gotta be
and the role of the
electrocution.
president
Mm-hmm.
in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on
Cuts
January
off by
6th, you told your
moderators.
supporters
How
to
many
march to
times
the
have we
Capitol.
done
You
that?
said you would be
Well,
right
that
there
was
with
another
them.
drink.
The country
People
and
would
the
be
world
drunk
saw
on
what
just
played out
that
at the
one.
Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say
Oh.
you watched it unfold on
Aides in the
television
West
off the
Wing?
Oval Office.
Well, tell them to
You did
wear
send out tweets,
protection.
but it was more than 2
They got
hours
pills
before you
that
sent
will
out
help
that
you fight
video
that.
message telling your
Seems like
supporters
something
to
you
go
guys
home.
could take care
Is
of
there anything
pretty
you
easily with
regret
some
about
Lysol,
what you
Hold
did
on.
that day?
Hold on.
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically.
So he's
And
defending
nobody on the
January
other
6th.
side was
You can
killed.
drink.
Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a
Yes.
disgrace. But
I agree with
we
that.
didn't do this group
There
of
should have
people
been no
that have been
firearms
treated
fired at
so
that
badly.
unless
I ask, what about all
they
the
turned
people
into
that are
chaos.
pouring
That was
into our
not
country
chaos.
and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar. Remember that. She
Yeah,
was the
defends
border czar.
January
She
6th. I
doesn't
would
want
say
to be
that's
called
what
the
is
border czar
happening
because
right
she's
now.
embarrassed
That's a
by the
drink.
border. In fact, she said at the beginning
Because they don't
"No,
really
I'm
have
surprised you're not
his
talking about the border
statement
yet."
in here
That's
because
she knows
Harris
what a bad
made this,
job
and they
they've
don't
done.
want you knowing
What
that
about
he
those
actually
people?
didn't say
What's-
that.
what are they
How
gonna
come
be
there's no
prosecuted?
border stuff
When
on
are
here?
these people
That's what I'm
from
saying.
countries
The
all
stuff,
over
there's
world,
stuff
not just
missing
South
because it was
America.
made by her.
They
She
come
doesn't
in
want
from
people to
all
think
over
about that stuff.
The world, David.
Like,
all over
that's
the
why
world.
she doesn't have
Crime rates are down all over the world because of it. But
let me just
when
ask
are
you,
those,
like
David,
Afghanistan
when are those
withdrawal,
people gonna be
stuff like
prosecuted?
that's
When
not
are the
in
people
here at
that
all.
burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle, they went into Seattle. They took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle.
Oh yeah,
When are those
Chaz. Who
people
could
gonna
forget
be
that?
prosecuted?
Don't open X.
But let me
X
just
is
ask
you.
out
You might
of
ask her that question.
control.
You were the president.
I'm sure it
You were
is.
watching
Man,
unfold on
let me check it
television.
out.
It's a very
An
simple
army
question as
of
we move
kittens
forward
with
toward another
guns
election.
with Trump.
Is there anything
is the
you regret
funniest thing
about what you
I've
did
ever
on
seen
that
in my
day?
life.
Yes or
I
no?
had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again,
All right,
it
we've pretty much
wasn't done
killed
by
that.
me, it was
Bingo.
done by others. I said, I'd like to
So
give you
I'm going to
10,000
do
National
the
Guard
Washington
Corps soldiers. They
Examiner's bingo
rejected me.
card.
Nancy Pelosi
All right.
rejected me. It was
Will you put
just
this one in the show
2
notes
weeks
as
ago.
well?
Her daughter has a tape of
Yeah,
her
this
saying
one is
she is fully
if we were at
responsible
the
for what
shooting
happened.
range,
They want to get rid of
it'd
that
be
tape.
just clips.
It would have
like
never happened.
just
if
the
Nancy
alligator clips.
Pelosi and the
We've pretty
mayor
much
of
blown that one to
Washington
hell.
did their jobs.
And we haven't even
I
reached the
wasn't
first commercial
responsible for
break yet.
security. Nancy Pelosi
It's in the
was
show notes.
responsible.
I actually
She
put it
didn't
in
do
the
her
show
job.
notes.
The question was about you as
There is no
president,
commercial
not
break,
about
is there?
former Speaker
Yeah.
Pelosi.
Oh, they're
But
having
you
like
want
an
Vice President
interlude?
Harris to respond.
Halftime?
They have 2 commercial breaks.
I was at
Are the
Capitol on
cheerleaders
January
performing?
6th.
I just sent you another
I
one,
was
Matt.
Is
the
Creed gonna
Vice
play?
President-elect. I
Okay.
was
Creed
also
is coming.
an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's
Johnson
capital,
secretly loved that band.
to desecrate
Which band?
our nation's
Creed.
capital. On that day,
Don't let him fool you.
140
Can you
law
take
enforcement
me
officers were
home?
injured, and some died.
Oh, this one's
And
good.
And
understand,
he was a stain
the
freak.
Look,
former
this one's
president
good.
has been indicted and
The
impeached
Washington Examiner.
for exactly exactly
Where'd you
that
put it?
reason.
It's in the show notes. Scroll all the way down the
This is not
bottom.
an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was
I love
a
Creed.
mob of people
Creed's the greatest
carrying
band.
Tiki torches,
Tiki
spewing
torches.
anti-Semitic hate.
But there were very
And
good
what did
people in
the
that
president
crowd.
then at the time say?
I opened up
There were
freedom
fine
again.
people on each side. Let's
I opened
remember
up freedom again.
that
There's
when
a
it came to
picture
the
at the
Proud
bottom.
Oh
Boys
yeah. Okay. Here we
militia,
go. I'm
The
speaking.
president said, the former president
Trump's
said,
golf
stand
game,
back
free
and
play.
stand by. So for everyone watching who
Convicted
remembers
felon
what
was
January
on this
6th
one.
was,
Tampon Tim
I
is on this
say
one.
we don't have to go back
Saw that too.
All right, what's the
go
winner?
back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the
Comrade,
page.
or
And if
comma
that was a
chameleon.
bridge too far for you, well, there is
Kamala
a place
Chameleon.
Assassination attempts
in
on this.
our campaign
Oh, they're
for
talking
you
about
to
maybe
stand
the topic,
for country,
or is that actually?
to stand for our democracy, to
I don't know
stand
what to
for
say.
rule
I don't know what to
of
do
These
with
are
my
the topics.
hands.
and to end the
I
chaos,
don't know what to do with my hands.
and to end the approach that is about attacking the
Willie
foundations of our
Brown,
democracy
Russia
because you
or
don't
China?
like the outcome. And be clear on
Be
that
clear.
point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath. If this and the outcome of this election is not
He said
to
because
his
of the
liking,
auto. He said it would be
That-
a bloodbath in
Let's
the
turn
auto
the
industry.
page on
That's a
this.
lie.
That
Let's
was a
not go
lie.
back.
Yeah, that was a lie.
That was
Let's
taken out of
chart a
context.
course
Way out. Just
for
like the first
future
thing he
and
addressed.
not go
Yeah.
backwards to
That
the
was
past.
said.
Let me just
The,
follow up here.
the auto industry would turn
It was
into a bloodbath.
different
Yeah.
term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy
That's
business. That
exactly
was where
what I'm
bloodbath
being
was.
texted to.
Also,
Everybody's
on
saying that there's
Charlottesville,
no policy
that story
talk,
has been,
like,
as you
and
would say,
like everybody
debunked.
knows what Trump's
Laura
policies
Ingraham,
are,
Sean
but nobody
Hannity,
has any idea what
Jessica,
Kamala's
all of
is, and
these
she needs to
people,
just
they covered
start
it.
talking
If they
about
got
I'll be
that
honest.
extra
pretty
sentence,
quick.
they would
I
say
don't
it was
100%
perfect.
know what
It
his
was
are.
debunked
All
in
of them.
almost every
Like I wish they would
newspaper,
get into
but
some
they
deep
still bring
stuff.
it up, just
Well,
like they
the
bring
deep cuts. I want the deep
2025
But the
up.
thing is,
They
she
bring
needs
all
to at
of this
least
stuff up.
match
I
his
ask you
what
this,
he
you
said
talk
his
about
position
the
is.
Capitol.
She hasn't even done that.
Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the
And why do we have to
southern
keep
border? How
talking
come she's
about
not
this
doing
shit?
anything? And I'll
Who
tell you
cares?
what I would
Move
do,
on. We're
and I would
talking.
be
We need
very
to know about
proud
the
to do it.
future. You
I would say
fucks.
we would both leave this debate
Yeah, get back
right
to the
now.
future.
I'd
We
like
don't need to
see
talk
her go
about Willie
down
Brown.
to Washington, D.C. during this debate
Or
because we're
Leroy
wasting
Brown.
a lot of time.
We
Go
don't need to
down
talk about
because she's
January
been so bad,
6th.
it's so
Keep
ridiculous.
going.
The
Go down to
Browns that just got
Washington,
beat
D.C.
by the
and let her
Cowboys.
sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They
The
don't
border's
need
not on
bills.
this one either.
They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed. You'll
Oh,
wake him
there's
up at
borders
4
are.
o'clock
I
in
see
the
it.
afternoon. You'll say, come on
I guess
down
that counts.
to the office. Let's sign a bill. If he signs a
Stupid
bill
or
that the border
incompetent.
is closed, all he has to do is say it
Oh,
to the
coup.
border patrol.
Coup
who
was-
is
we-
phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, we're in a
If
coup,
they
so
do
you could
that,
be
the
drink. You
border
could drink
is
that one.
closed.
Mr.
Those
President.
people are killing many people,
I wanna-
unlike J6.
We talked immigration here
What
tonight.
is
I do
Doug
want to focus on this next issue
Eminoff
overview because it really brings us
Nanny?
this into focus. Truth in these times that
Well,
we're living in.
truth was one.
Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly
How is the
falsely
coconut
claimed that you
tree
won,
thing not on
many times
here?
saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it. That
I'd
you
say
came up a
Tampon
little
Tim
bit
is
short.
the winner.
I
Are
said
you,
that.
If that-
are you
if-
now
if this- if that
acknowledging that
gets-
you lost in
No, I
2020?
don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say that.
sarcastically. You
But
know
those-
that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker.
He's like, no,
That
I
was
don't.
said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to
He's
do is
getting
look at it.
defensive,
And
isn't
they
he?
should have sent it
All you
back
have
to
to
the
do-
legislatures for approval.
I'm sick of you
I got almost
bitches.
What's his-
75
what's
million
his-
votes, the
all you
most
have to do
votes
is
any
open
sitting
Truth Social and
president
you'll
has ever
see.
gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need
Still
walls,
talking about the
we need-
past.
and we have to have
Yeah.
it. We have to have borders.
The
and we have to have
future.
good
What are y'all going to
elections.
do
Our
in the
elections
fucking
are
future?
bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what
That's
countries they're in
offensive.
practically. And these people are trying to get
How
them
dare
to
you?
vote.
I think I
And
just blew
that's
them,
why they're
everyone's ears
allowing
out.
them
Then.
to
Yeah,
come
Sorry,
in.
if you have
I did
earbuds in,
watch
I
all of these pieces
apologize
of
for that.
video.
That's okay.
I didn't detect the sarcasm. Lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it.
Whiskers?
And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your
Here's
colleagues, 60
AI
cases
of Trump
in front of many
with an
judges, many of
AR-15
them
No judge
Republicans,
riding a
looked at it.
cat.
and said there
They
was
said
no
we didn't have
widespread fraud.
standing.
Yes.
That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing. A
For
technicality.
evidence.
Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United States
These
doesn't
guys
have
beat me down.
standing.
When is
That's
the
how
first
we lost.
break?
If you look at the
Yeah,
facts,
don't they have
and
to
I'd
pee
love to
yet?
have you'll do a special on it.
And
I'll show
regroup?
you Georgia.
Yeah, are
and
they
I'll
going
show
to do that?
you
Like,
Wisconsin,
you think they
and
sit in
I'll
a
show you
corner and some guy
Pennsylvania,
comes
and
and
I'll show
starts
you- we
massaging
have
his
so
neck
many
like he's
facts
been in
and
a
statistics.
fight?
You know
Puts
what?
the ice presses on their
Yeah.
faces and
Because we
stuff.
have to
It
solve
like
the
gives
problem
him
that we
a
have right
bottle
now.
of water,
That's
like
old
shoots some
news.
water in his
And the
mouth.
problem
Yeah.
that we have right now is we have a
He dies.
nation in
Right, he
decline.
dies.
And they
in your
have
corners,
put
you
it
two.
into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris. Harris, you heard the president there tonight.
Don't
He said he
snack
didn't
on
say
me.
That he lost by whiskers. So
It's
he
a
still,
flag,
believes
like the
that
don't
he did
tread
not
on me, but
lose
with a
the
kitten.
election. That was won by President
I haven't
Biden,
seen any,
and
man.
yourself.
These are great.
You said
But I
on
do wanna
X
ask you
or
about
Reddit?
something
On
that's
X.
come up in the last couple of days. This was
Man,
a
I haven't
post
seen
from
shit.
President Trump about this upcoming election
What is
just
that?
weeks away. He said, when I win,
Yeah.
those people who
Oh.
cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election
I thought
officials,
someone
he
let the
says will be
cat
prosecuted to
out
the
the
fullest
bag in
extent
the
of the law, which will
debate.
include long-term
Like,
prison
speaking of
sentences.
cats, these
One
are
of your
what they're
campaign's
eating.
top lawyers responded saying, we
He
won't
just
let
goes,
Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is
fired.
having a very difficult time processing
What's the
that.
population of the United States?
But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. Now, I'm gonna
334
tell you
million.
that I have traveled
Yeah.
the world as vice president of the United States.
So 80 million
And
people fired him.
world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom work with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again
Hey,
are
can I have me
court
one too,
cases
please?
you have lost
A water, yeah.
because
Thank
you
you.
did in fact lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or
That
the
drives me nuts.
ability to not be confused about facts. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve
Yeah,
better.
I like this. They should have had Samuel L. Jackson
Let
be a
me just say about
moderator.
world leaders.
Lie again,
Victor
motherfucker.
Orban, one of the most respected
I
men.
don't
they call him
remember
strong
asking
man.
you a
He's he's
goddamn
tough
thing.
person. Smart. Prime Minister of Hungary.
Does
They
Marcellus
said,
Wallace
"Why is
look
the
like a
whole world
bitch?"
blowing
What?
up? 3
Say what
years ago
again?
it wasn't.
Break out
Why
the
is it
gimp.
blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They
Who's
were
Zed?
afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like
China,
the word afraid,
check.
but I'm just
China,
quoting him.
drink.
China
Drink.
was afraid of him. North
China.
Korea
Again.
was afraid of him. Look at what's going on
So-
with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him.
Drink,
I ended
Russia.
the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Man, I'm gonna
and
be peeing
Biden
the whole
put
way
it
home.
back on
That was
day
just like
one,
10
but
drinks.
He ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going
Drink.
all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared
This is the
person
most-
is Donald Trump.
the least
We
I
had
think I've
no
ever talked in a
problems when Trump
podcast.
was president.
Who
But
do
when
you
this
think
weak, pathetic
metal
man
musician-wise
that you
would make a
saw at
great
debate
president?
just a few months
Aw,
ago,
dude,
that if
let
he
me
weren't
see
in that
here.
debate, he'd be running on Senate.
Not
He
just
got
not
no
out of
votes.
fun,
He
but
got
just because they
14
have their
million
head on
votes when you
straight.
did.
I
You
think
talk
Mark
about a
Morton
threat to
from
democracy.
Lamb of God would be
He
a
got
pretty cool
14
president.
million
So would
votes, and they threw him
I
out
think
of office.
Randy Blythe would
And
be
you know
pretty
what? I'll
cool
give you a
as a
little
president.
secret. He hates
Jerry
him.
Cantrell.
Maynard
He
would
can't stand
definitely
him.
be a badass
But he got
president.
This is Zach
14
De La
million
Roca.
votes.
No,
Oh, yeah,
he wouldn't.
that'd
He
be-
wouldn't
No, no,
run.
no,
He'd
no,
burn
no,
that
no.
motherfucker down.
And when she ran, she was the first
Jerry
one
Cantrell.
to leave because
Yeah,
she
he'd be a
failed.
cool president.
And now she's running.
I'd
I don't
vote for
understand
most
it,
of
but
them,
I'm okay
Justin.
with it because
Your time is
I would
limited.
too.
do
I'd be
very
like,
well.
Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
I'd vote for him.
I'd vote for him.
Dave
Dave Mustaine, no, he hates Jews.
Vice President Harris in
I'd still
December,
vote for
said,
Dave
quote,
because
"Israel has
he's
a
got
right to
that.
defend
He's
itself, but
fucking
you added,
crazy and
quote,
could hit the
"It
button at
matters
any
how."
moment if you piss
Saying
him off.
Oh, yeah.
international humanitarian
He had really
law
good
must be
aim. You
respected.
guys remember that
Israel
infamous
must do
clip
more to protect innocent
when someone
civilians.
asked what he thought
He
about
said
Kurt
that
Cobain?
9 months ago.
Oh, yeah,
Now an
yeah.
estimated 40,000
Whoa, here we go.
Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain.
It's all your fault,
Just
too.
last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said
Oh, we're talking about
there's not a deal in the making.
Palestine.
President
Gaza.
Biden
Yeah,
has
Gaza.
not been able to break through the
Here's,
stalemate.
I bet you Trump's
How
about
would
to
you
say,
do it?
I will fix it immediately.
Well,
Day
let's
of.
understand
Day
how we
one.
got here. On
Fixed.
October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis.
Yeah.
Many of them
Okay, you
young
don't have to
people who
explain
were
it to us.
simply
We know what
attending a
happened.
concert.
We saw that.
Women were
know that.
We know.
horribly
We don't
raped.
need fact
And
check.
so
We don't need to.
absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because
Yeah.
it is also true,
Hmm.
far too many
I say just carpet bomb
innocent
all of it.
Palestinians have been killed.
They kind of have.
Children, mothers.
Israel kind of
What we
has.
know is that This war
I was watching a
must
video
end.
of a news crew
It
driving
must
through Gaza.
end immediately.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The way it
Did
will
yesterday?
end is we need
Holy
a ceasefire
shit.
deal, and we need the hostages
Doesn't even look like
out.
it's part of this world.
And
It's
so
going to
we
be
will
interesting to
continue
find
to
out
work
who's
around the
put in
clock
charge of
on
building
that.
that thing back.
Work around the
What
clock,
thing?
also understanding that
Gaza.
we must
Oh.
chart
Probably
a
one of the
course
Clinton
for a
organizations that are
two-state
Someone
rebuilt
in them-
Haiti.
In
Yeah.
that
Elon Musk.
solution,
It'll
there
be
must be
casinos
security
and
for the
Or China.
Israeli people
Yeah, it'll become
exotic hotels.
Dubai.
and an
Yeah,
equal measure
no
for
shit.
the
China's actually
Palestinians.
rebuilt most
But
of
the one thing I
Africa.
will assure
That'd be
you
nuts.
always, I will always
They
give
haven't
Israel the
rebuilt
ability
most
to
of
defend
Africa.
What if they
itself,
just-
They
in
have
particular as it
built
relates
up
to
the
Israel's
highways
relates
and
to Iran
railways.
Yeah.
and any threat
Well,
that
and
Iran
like
and
public
its proxies pose to
structures
Israel.
like schools and
But
stuff.
we
Yeah,
must have
that's
a
what I meant
two-state
when I said that.
solution
Yeah.
where
I think
can
we should
rebuild
start
Gaza,
like
where
just
the
making countries into
Palestinians
casinos.
Because they just see it as
security,
business. They don't care about
self-determination, and the
internal
dignity
strife or
they so
politics.
rightly
We
deserve.
take over Iran and just turn them
President
into a
Trump, how
nice
would you
casino.
negotiate with
Let's see, will he say it?
and also Hamas in
I
order to
did
get
day
the
one.
hostages
If he
out
says it-
and prevent the killing
Yeah.
of more
We would
innocent
not have a
civilians in
problem if
Gaza?
it wasn't
If I
for.
were president,
Finish your drink.
it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never,
Drink.
ever. I know Putin
Russia.
very well. He
Man, I'm
would have
getting a
never,
headache
and
from
there was
drinking
no
so
threat of it
much.
either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people.
We're not talking
when you
about
add it
Ukraine
up.
right now.
Far worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party.
I'm not gonna
She
lie.
hates Israel.
Sorority party
If
sounds
she's
way
president,
funner.
I believe that
Yeah.
Israel
I
will
would've
not
gone to that.
exist
Bunch of
within
chicks.
2 years
Yeah.
from now.
Hanging
And I've
out.
been pretty good at predictions.
Like you were
and I
talking
hope
about
I'm
earlier.
wrong about
Two
that
chicks.
one. She hates Israel.
You were talking about
At
breasts?
At the same
in
time.
her own way.
Yeah.
She hates the Arab population.
They'd be
my
like, "Where's
God.
the president?
Oh my
Where's
God.
President
Place
Schneider?
is gonna get
He's at
blown
that
up.
sorority again.
Arabs,
Again? He's
Jewish
been there like
people,
3 times in the last
Israel-
month.
Israel will be
That's what you
gone.
said. You said
It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran
That's true.
had no money
That's
for
true.
Hamas or Hezbollah or
And
any of
that's
the
scary.
28 different
Yep.
spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror. Horrible
A
terror.
terror.
They had no
Terror.
money.
That
It was a
terror
big
was
story,
ground.
and you know it. You
Yeah,
covered
it is.
very
Earth.
well, actually.
What if he
They
said
had no
Spheres of
money
terror.
for
Spheres of
They were
Pantera?
broke. Now they're a
Like,
rich
yeah.
nation, and now what they're
That's
doing
not on the
is they're
bingo
spreading
board.
that money around.
I wouldn't want Phil to be a
Look at
president.
what's happening.
I think Phil would be
with the
pretty cool
Houthis
now.
in
No, not
Yemen.
really.
Look
Get
at
on
what's
your
going on in
knees.
the Middle East.
Yeah,
This
no.
would have
Bow.
never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the
White
war
lightning
with Ukraine and
for
Russia
all.
ended. If I'm
Yikes.
president-elect, I'll get it done.
Yeah,
before
that's
even
when
becoming
Dave had his fun
president.
baby
Vice
probably.
President Harris, he says you hate
Everybody
Israel.
was wild that
And
night.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He
What?
knows that. He's
When has
trying
she
to,
supported
again,
Israel?
divide and
Is there any-
distract from
When
the
has
reality,
anybody supported
which is,
Israel,
It is
really?
very well known that
I mean,
if we're
being
Donald
realistic.
Trump is weak and
I don't-
wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a
Well, this didn't help me
dictator
make up my
one
mind.
According to himself, it is
What was she saying now?
known that he said
This whole
of
debate is
Putin
terrible.
that
It's just
he
their
can
talking
do
points, all of
whatever
them.
the
Except,
hell he
high school.
wants in going
but the
to
thing is, I'm
Ukraine.
still wanting to know
It is
what
well
she's
known
talking
that
like.
he said
Her
when
plans
Russia
to
went
do
into
things
Ukraine, it
different
was
than she has for the
brilliant.
last 3 years.
It
Like,
is
what is she
well
planning
known
on
he
doing
exchanged
that she
love
hasn't
letters
had a
with
chance to
Kim
do?
Jong-un,
I'm still
and it
hung
is
up on that. I just want to
absolutely
hear her
well known
shit.
that
All
these
she does is
dictators
all
and autocrats
they're
are
doing is make
voting
fun. They're just
for
nana
you
nana
to
boo
be
booing.
president again because they're so clear.
That's
They
all
can
they're doing.
manipulate
Nana nana
you
boo boo.
with flattery
that picture.
and favors.
Your mama. No, your
and
mama.
That is why.
Your daddy. No,
He
your
just-
daddy.
He just shook his head up and down when she says,
Yo mama.
Yo
You
mama.
are a disgrace. That is
You're a
why
disgrace?
we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and
is that
wrong
right?
on
Vice
national
President
security,
Did she call him
including the importance
a disgrace?
of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President
the
Harris,
hell?
thank you.
And she's the one that caused it. That's weak on
Stop
national
this
security
high school
by allowing
bullshit.
That's all they're
every
gonna
nation
do,
last
man.
month
It's just nana
of the
nana
year,
boo boo.
168 different countries sending
God.
people into our country.
Nana nana boo
Their
boo,
crime
stick your head
rates
in
are
doo
way
doo.
down.
I know you
you are, but what am
Putin
I?
endorsed her last week.
I know you are, but
Said,
what
"I
am
hope
I?"
She wins, and I think he meant it. because what he's
Link
gotten away
devices.
with is
Where's the sound
absolutely incredible. It wouldn't
Link
have happened with me.
Wouldn't have
The
happened with
leaders
me.
of other countries think that they're weak and
I
incompetent.
think if
and
I
they
ever
are.
had to do
They're
this as a
grossly
president, I would
incompetent.
come out
And I
like
just asked
President
one question.
Camacho,
Why does Biden
like
go
kind of
and
like
they kill the
Apollo
Keystone
Creed or
Pipeline
something.
Oh,
man.
yeah, we're
approve
gonna
the
get all
single
that money.
biggest deal that
Dude.
Russia's ever made, Nord Stream
I'd be
2, the
working
biggest
out and stuff
pipeline
all the
anywhere
time.
in the world, going to Germany
Like I'd
and
have
all over
abs
Europe
that could talk.
because they're weak,
Like his
and they're
commercials, too.
ineffective. And Biden, by the way,
Abs
gets
that
paid
can
a
talk.
lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
The dude
We'll be
that
right
played
back with
didn't he
much
have
more
Commercial
historic
time. All right.
ABC News
Finally.
presidential debate from
Finally.
the National Constitution
All
Center.
right,
Shut
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
fuck up.
Back in a moment.
So far,
Wow.
not good.
I don't like any of
Future's
this.
not
I don't-
bright.
Yeah. Just gotta
There's no reason to wear shades. Not today.
just
'cause
talk
it is
shit
not
to
bright
each
out
other.
there.
I mean, if you wanted to see two people just pretend like they were in high school talking shit to each other,
Yeah,
you
so
can tune into
far,
us every Tuesday.
so far I've learned
Hey,
nothing.
it's Nicole Kidman. The perfect couple.
So we can get to other stuff while there's commercial break.
I'm kind of in on that.
This show.
Do you have time for the
Perfect
soundbite?
couple.
So I heard
Yeah,
that is
it's come. Is it-
Bono's daughter.
and it's not out yet, or is it?
It is out.
It is out. Yeah.
But that's
'Cause
Bono's daughter.
I think it asked me to watch that after I watched The Greatest Show Ever.
Mine keeps asking me to watch that.
What's it called? The Terror?
The Terror.
The Terror.
Terror.
So James Earl Jones died yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
For those that, if you don't know who he is, there's something wrong with you. You should probably go read a Tool article. But
Don't go see Tool.
For us nerdy people, he was the voice of our generation, basically.
Yeah.
Like he
Definitely one of the voices of our generation.
he voiced
he was.
the greatest
Yeah.
On-screen villain of our
on-screen
generation.
villain of our generation, and
then the millennials.
he also voiced this is CNN.
Yep.
Yeah, and
And
the
he was
millennials-
Mufasa.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Millennials are all about Mustafa, like him
Mufasa.
being- or Mufasa.
Mustafa.
Who's Mustafa?
I don't know. I was about to ask you the same thing.
Musafa?
Mustafa.
I thought it was Mustafa.
No.
Damn, man. I wonder if kids look at me weird when I say that.
And he was also the wizard in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
And he was in The Great White Hype.
Yeah.
So did you
Great
know
White Hope.
that
Conan's on Netflix right now, man. I watched it to go to sleep.
Oh.
So Star Wars was
Awesome.
supposed to be the original Star Wars, A New Hope, was supposed to be released on Christmas of 1976, but it was delayed because of post-production issues, and one of them was Darth Vader's voice. And what I found interesting was, in an interview, James Earl Jones said, "I understand that George Lucas did contact Orson Welles before he contacted me."
That's who he wanted first, but he didn't want as recognizable as a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what he said was James Earl Jones was out of work, he said, and Lucas goes, "Well, do you want a day's work?" And after applying his voice to the what is it called? ART, whatever it's called, ADT, whatever it is. Lucas claimed Jones was the best actor I could possibly find. We figured out the key to work was to keep it on a very narrow band of expression. That was the secret. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know it was going to be Orson Welles, but yeah. And then he was Darth Vader forever. And then, what was it, about 5-6 years ago, maybe even earlier, longer ago than that, James Earl Jones signed off his voice to Lucasfilm and went into the studio and recorded a whole bunch of dialogue, so that way it could be used
and preserved through AI. Yeah.
Yeah, and preserved through AI for eternity. Man, if I had access to that,
You could make some of your catchphrases that we have in our bank, like Reagan era conservative, and just make that live forever. You know that?
Yep. You're a Reagan era conservative. I can't even do it.
You are a Reagan era conservative.
It's pretty good. You are a Reagan era conservative.
Pussy.
Pussy.
So yeah,
That's really
he'll be
nice.
missed. But 93, man, he lived a good long
He
life.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big bucket of win there.
I don't know why. Now I'm more surprised when I'm finding out about deaths because I figured that it happened during COVID.
Yeah.
And I thought he had already had gone to the other side of things. You know,
The other thing,
taking that walk already.
the other big news this week is this whole Linkin Park controversy.
Oh, about their new lead
dude.
vocalist?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's just Linkin Park.
I
They're
don't
gonna
care
suck
either
it's
way.
It's gonna suck either way.
I was
with or
never a fan of
without.
Linkin Park, so
Me neither.
Well,
Let
I
'em-
actually went and listened to some. That was a surprise thing. I didn't know it. I listened to some of the tracks. She's horrible.
Oh, the new ones?
She's monotone. She doesn't.
He was too. He didn't have any kind of range.
But he had emotion and inflection behind
He
it.
had fucking cliche lyrics about demons in his heads.
Everybody has that though.
That's
of
what
that era. All those kids
Tool
of that
didn't.
era. They weren't kids. I'm saying kids of that era. That's what they did.
Overrated.
Yeah, because the members of Linkin Park, they're like around our age.
How is she? How?
But
is
fuck
she,
her
is she,
because
is she
she's
their age?
Yeah, but she's also a Scientologist and a rapist apologist that went to speak in behalf of Danny Masterson in court.
Oh shit!
Now she released a statement that says that was a different time, blah blah blah. But we don't forgive people in this day and age. You just can't. Not anymore. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck
that's-
her. Fuck Linkin Park.
That's the thing about commercial bands like that. You know, they don't stand for shit, dude. Like that kind of thing. There's no way I would let someone in my band that had that kind of shit going on. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck how good of a vocalist you
Why
are.
does
if you're
Linkin
that
Park
weirdo.
need to come back? Why don't they just do something else?
Exactly, man.
Just
Well,
do
shit was
something
overrated
cool.
anyway.
Crawling
Stupid ass lyrics.
in my skin.
The only cool shit they ever did was with Jay-Z.
They're in for $150
That was it.
billion less
And that was Jay-Z's
because
song
Biden
already,
and you
wasn't it?
don't have
No,
the
it's a
guts
mashup
to
of both of
ask
them.
Europe, like I did with
Stupid.
NATO. They paid
Did he say
billions and
Sharknado?
billions, hundreds
No,
of
NATO.
millions of
Oh.
dollars
No,
when I
it
said,
was close.
Either you pay up
What
or
happens
we're
if he
not
says
gonna protect you
Sharknado?
anymore. So that's maybe
There
one of the
is so
reasons
much
they don't
cat shit
like me as
on
much as
X
they
now.
like weak people.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
You take a look at what's happening.
Man, they
We're
didn't
in
get a
for
very long break,
250
did
to
they?
275 billion. They're into
Like we got to one topic,
150.
James Earl
They
Jones.
should be
And
forced
a
Linkin
little bit of
Park.
Linkin Park.
equalized. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president. Okay, they respect me. They don't
Your
respect
president.
Biden. How would you respect
Well,
him?
you're not the
Why?
president
For what
right
reason?
now,
He hasn't
but-
even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war.
Wasn't it
that's dying to
Haitians
be
that were
settled.
eating
I will
humans?
get it settled before I even become president.
Uh,
If I win,
There was that
when I'm
Haitian
president
guy.
elect,
Yeah,
That was
that was a
the
cannibal. Yeah.
warlords, yeah.
one, I'll speak to
Wasn't
the
it
other.
He was a warlord,
His name was
yes.
Barbecue.
That war
Yeah.
would have never happened.
Oh,
That's
that
right.
video, man. The last one I saw was
After I left.
gnarly.
Unfortunately,
That I
couple
saw
of weeks
one
ago.
that was hardcore.
Yeah, dude. I was like, come
Yeah.
on, man,
When I
dude.
saw him building up soldiers,
You
he
just
did it
happened
after I left.
to
I said,
accidentally
"Oh,
cruise across it, and
must
he's
be
eating a human.
negotiating.
And there's a
Must be a
body
good,
on the
strong
fire, and
point of
he's just
negotiation."
eating it like it's
Well, it
brisket
wasn't,
and like going,
because Biden
like
had no
acting like it's
idea how to
good.
talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it, and now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David.
We're in World War
We're
III.
playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's. Where is our president? We don't even.
Well,
know.
that is true.
That is a good question.
Where is
I want to know where our president is.
Kamal's like, I would too.
Yeah.
But we have a president,
Mr. President.
that doesn't know he's alive.
Just to clarify the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished. and
Yes.
Just get
Thank
it
you.
done.
Yes.
Negotiate
Just get it
a deal,
over with.
Because we have to
Stop sending them
all of
billions
these
of dollars that
human
could be
Yes.
used here.
He
from
needs to
being
say that,
destroyed.
I want
Dustin.
to take this to Vice President Harris. I
Well,
want to get your thoughts.
get me in his
on,
earpiece.
support
You need to
for
be in his
Ukraine
earpiece.
this moment.
Someone
But
get
also,
the
as
Dustin
Commander-in-Chief,
earpiece
if
over to
elected,
Trump.
How would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any
Ask her
different
about
from what
mac
we're
and
seeing
cheese
from
noises.
President
Talk about how big your dick is.
first
Talk
of
about
all,
how big your
it's
dick is.
important
My
to
dick is
remind
so
On the
big.
internet?
I have the
running
biggest
against Joe
dick
Biden
I've
running against
ever.
me.
My dick is extremely
I believe
large.
for you.
I will show you my dick right
This war will be
now.
over within
Say fuck
24
you,
hours.
San Diego.
Fuck you, San Diego.
Go
Fuck
fuck- no,
That's who
you.
we are as
Go fuck
Americans.
yourself,
Let's
San Diego.
understand
Go
what's
fuck
happening.
yourself, San
I
Diego.
actually met
Like,
with
no, don't say
Zelensky
that. No, don't
a
say
few
that.
days before
I'm
Russia
Ron Burgundy?
invaded, tried through force to change
Say you're the
territorial
Orange Goblin
boundaries,
King.
to define one of the
I'm the
most
Orange
important
Goblin King.
international rules and norms, which is the
Hobgoblin,
importance
Say,
of
that's a-
say
sovereignty
you've
and
killed
territorial
snow monkeys
integrity.
before.
And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with
I've
him
killed
American
snow
intelligence
monkeys.
about how he could defend himself. Days later, I went to NATO's eastern
That's another
flank,
president that's not
to
really a
Poland and
president.
Romania.
Who's Zelensky?
Yeah.
How much
the
blow
work
do
that
you
I
think
and
she's
others
done in
did,
her
we brought
life?
50
At
countries
least a
together
pound, right?
to support
those
Ukraine
not
At least a
in its
pound.
righteous
Yeah.
defense.
Like she
And
has,
because of our
like
support,
I could see
because
where
of
maybe
the
she's had some
air
cartilage
defense,
replacement
the
in the middle of her
ammunition, the
nose,
artillery,
like
the
some surgery
javelins,
done.
the Abrams
That's the
tanks
tone
that
of her
we have
voice.
provided,
Yeah.
Ukraine
Is
stands
when you
as
miss
an
that.
independent and free country. If Donald
Yeah.
Trump
What is
were
it called?
president,
You missed that
Putin
thing?
would be sitting in Kyiv right now.
Wrong hole,
And
mate.
understand
No.
what that would mean, because Putin's
When you can stick a
agenda
condom up your nose
is
and pull it
not
out your
just
mouth.
about Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
Because the hole's in the top of your
Understand
throat.
Yeah, yeah.
why
Or
Oh,
top of your
God.
mouth. What is that
allies
called?
and our
It's from
NATO
cocaine.
allies
I don't know.
so
I used to do that when I was a
you
kid
are
with
no
dental
longer
floss.
president, and that
Because of
we
cocaine? You were doing
understand
cocaine as
the
a kid?
importance of the greatest military alliance
I had a
the
Why'd
world
you
has
kill
ever
the
known,
cat?
which is NATO. And
What?
what we
Smile for
have
me.
done to
Oh,
I had a
preserve
cocaine addiction when I was in the,
Zelensky and
the first
Ukrainians
grade.
to fight for their
Women-
independence. Otherwise, Putin would be
Woman
sitting in
arrested
Kyiv
in Ohio
with
for
his
eating a
eyes on
neighbor's
the
pet.
rest of Europe,
God.
starting with
Yeah,
Poland,
that's
and
the
wanting
lady
to tell
that
the
ate the
800,000
cat.
Polish Americans
She's
right
got
here in
blood all in her
Pennsylvania
mouth. Like
how
the cop
quickly
goes
you
up
would
to her
give
and
up
like goes, look at this,
for the
look at this,
sake
her
of
face,
favor.
man. She's got
And
blood
what
coming
you
out of
think
her
is a
face.
friendship
But people have
with
been eating
what is
cats for a
known to be
while.
a dictator
Spectacle
why-
used to do
who would
shows in
eat you for
Oklahoma.
lunch.
Why is she talking about Polish Americans?
Arkansas and in
I'm
Oklahoma.
a Polish American.
Because she hates
Afghanistan came up in
Polacks.
the last hour.
Whoa, she's racist
I
against
wanted to respond to
Polacks?
something you
She's
said
got a
earlier,
whole
and I'll-
series of
please,
Polak jokes.
I'll give you a
Polak?
minute here.
I don't care about Polak
Is that
jokes.
woke?
would be sitting in Moscow.
Is
and
that
he wouldn't
woke?
have lost
I don't know if we can say
300,000
that
men
anymore.
and women, but he would have
And
been
women?
sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please.
Quiet, please.
Quiet,
Quiet,
please.
please.
Drink.
Moscow,
Quiet.
much happier.
Pipe
than he is
down,
right
bitch.
now. But eventually, he's got a thing that other people
Yes, he
don't
did say,
have. He's
"Shut
got
up,
nuclear
bitch."
weapons. They don't ever talk
He'd
about
have my
that.
vote.
Got
I'd be
nuclear
like, I'm going and
weapons.
voting now.
Nobody ever thinks about that. And
Shut up,
eventually,
bitch.
maybe
Shut your
maybe
fucking
he
hole.
Hold
hasn't
on.
been that threatening,
Yeah.
but
My
he does
bet
have
is,
that.
do they shake
Something we
hands
don't
after
even
this
like
is
to
done?
talk about.
I would
Nobody
spit
likes
on
to
my
talk about
hand.
it.
Like
But just so you
if we had a
understand,
bet.
they sent
I don't know
her to
why. I just saw him do it on
We're
Peaky
bl-
Blinders.
War started.
He
3
just pulls
days
out a
later,
knife, cuts his
he
hand,
went
and
in
goes,
and he started the
Bet.
war because
everything
everything they
is
said was
spit on
weak
your hand.
and
That's the true
stupid. They
pack.
said the wrong thing.
Peaky
That
Blinders.
war
Have
should
we talked
never
about how much of
started.
my
She was the
I
emissary.
did some
They
searching
sent
on
her in
my
to negotiate
heritage?
with Zelensky
My
and
A couple
white
of weeks ago.
I actually
whiteness,
have my
my Caucasianness.
I have my 23andMe results actually.
AIDS, huh?
She's
What?
worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the
Actually,
worst
get
president
this.
in the history of our country.
I'm like
She goes down
1.2%
as the worst
sub-Saharan
president
African.
in the history of our
What?
country.
Yeah,
Let me tell
I'm
you
Hell
something.
yeah.
Badass.
She is a
That's
horrible
awesome.
negotiator.
Did you put your name
They
on
sent
everything
her in to
when you sent it in?
negotiate. As
Dude,
soon
you
as
know
they
what?
left,
You have.
Neanderthal.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I did.
sorry,
Since you
Dustin.
went to negotiate
Sorry,
with
sorry,
Vladimir
earbud
Putin,
wears.
Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify
Do it
tonight?
one time,
Look,
Dustin.
hold on.
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of
Hold
this
on.
debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fella. And that is another one.
She didn't
When I
answer the
went
question.
To meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times.
But he asked
The
if you met
reality
with
is, it has
Vladimir
been
Putin.
about standing as America always should, as a leader,
What was the
upholding
most of your
international
DNA?
rules and norms. As a
You want some
leader
more?
who shows
Northwestern
strength,
European.
understanding that the
Northwest
alliances
European.
we have
Yeah,
around the
65%
world are
British and
dependent
Irish, French
on
and
our
German,
ability to look
13.1,
out for our
Eastern
friends
European,
and
17.
not favor our
Man.
enemies because
Did it give you the good
adore
shit, like
strong men
what you could
instead
die
of
from?
caring
Uh,
about democracy.
That's like $500
And
bucks,
that
isn't it?
is very
It did
much
give
what
me
is at stake
typical
here. The
traits
President
for
of the
my
United States
DNA.
is Commander-in-Chief.
You know that all went
And the
straight up
American
to
people
fucking China,
have a
right?
right
I don't
For their,
give a
for
shit.
their bioweapons.
I don't
Your
have any-
insurance is going to go up.
President
I don't have anything
who
to hide.
understands the significance of America's role and
Don't you understand the
responsibility
significance of
in terms
America's
of
role
ensuring
and
that there is
responsibility?
stability
0.2%
and
as
ensuring we stand
Kahani
up
Jewish.
for our principles and
Drink.
not sell them for
Dun,
the,
dun, dun,
for the
dun, dun.
benefit of personal
I
flattery.
can't do it.
We've talked about Ukraine.
They gotta talk
Vladimir
about porn
Putin. I do
stars.
want to talk about Afghanistan.
That's a big drinking one.
And
That was
in
the one we
first
said
hour
would be
of
an
this
ender
debate.
on this one.
Stormy
I wanna
Daniels.
move
Thought it
on
was
to
Tampon
Afghanistan.
Tim.
Stephanie Clifford. That's her real name.
We had 2 on the last one.
And lives in Forney, last I heard.
I love Savannah.
To pay up, he said, "I've never seen." He's the head of NATO.
Have you ever seen Alexis Texas ass? I love it.
Kamala, back in my day, you would have loved to suck this. You would have. Do you see this piece right here?
Jenna Jameson.
Look, Kamala, look down here. Look.
You want to see a piece that's been in Sophie D? Look at
You want to smell some Stormy on this?
Thank you.
This hog, this American hog right here.
And we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill. honoring
How
the
about you,
soldiers who
David
died
Muir?
in
Do you want to smell my dick?
I'll show
I do
it
wanna
to you
ask the
too,
Vice President,
David.
Do you believe you bear any responsibility?
You got a mighty
in the way
pretty,
that
pretty
withdrawal went
face,
out?
David.
Well, I will
Come
tell
over
you, I
here. Take a
appreciate
sniff,
President
David.
Biden's
Trump, put your
decision
pants back on,
to pull
please,
out of
sir.
Afghanistan. Four
Oh, fuck
presidents
off.
said they would,
He
and Joe
just
Biden did.
Ended
And as
his
a
career.
result, America's taxpayers are not paying.
Oh,
the
man, that'd be a
$300
mic
million
drop for
today
him.
we were paying for that endless
I don't have
war.
time for this shit.
And
I'm gonna
as
go
of
make some real
today,
money.
There is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world the first time this century. But let's understand
That's
how we
bullshit.
got
You've got people
to where
in
we are.
Ukraine. You've got a
Donald
special
Trump, when he was
forces unit
president,
in Ukraine.
negotiated
We're all
one
up
of the
in Africa
weakest
too
deals
right
you
now.
can
Like
imagine.
Africa
He
and
calls
China,
himself
like
a deal
everybody's
maker.
scrambling,
Even his
doing all
national
this
security
crazy shit
advisor said
in
And
Africa.
you
it was a
have
weak,
two armadas
terrible deal.
sitting
And here's how he
outside
put it down.
of Israel.
He bypassed
Yeah, in
And
the
the
Gulf.
Mediterranean.
Yeah, in the Mediterranean.
He
And in the,
negotiated
we also
directly
have
with a
some in the
terrorist
Gulf too, in the
organization
Persian
called the
Gulf.
I would
Taliban.
say that's
The
a
negotiation
war
involved
zone.
the
Yeah, we've
right
got
now.
people out there
5,000
deployed.
You're close
Taliban
enough. They may not be
released
firing weapons, but
She's
they're
probably
in
talking
it.
about boots on the ground.
Actually,
the president
firing
at the
and
time
Yeah, she-
invited the Taliban
Like, that's a
to
good
Camp
thing.
David, a place of storied significance.
But haven't
for
they
us
said
as
that the most
Americans,
peaceful
a
time
place
we've
where
ever
we
had was
Wait,
under Trump?
hold on. I
the
want to
importance
hear
of
this.
American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders.
But I can't go to Camp David. Can you? Can you go to Camp David?
No.
As
We can't go to Camp David. So eat a dick.
to Camp David because he
All right,
does
I heard
not
what Dustin
again
said. That's in my
appreciate
earpiece.
the
I'm taking it
role
out now
and
again.
responsibility
You guys wanted to see it again? Here's this
President of
fucking
the
great
United
hog right
States
here. This
to be
American hog. Come here,
commander-in-chief
Kamala. I
with a
want to rub it
level
on
Come
your
look at
face.
this little bitty thing.
Come
This
here.
gets back to the point of how he has consistently
Someone
disparaged
put him
and
down again.
demeaned members of our
Trank him,
military,
trank him.
fallen soldiers, and the work that we must do
Smart
to
girl.
uphold the strength
You don't wake up
and the
Horn Trump.
respect of the United States
Dude,
of
Horn Trump
America
will rip them
around the
pants
world.
off, just start running
In
around
their time
like
zone,
Pac-Man,
it
like
is
Pac-Man.
10:19, so Horn Trump is
Yeah,
probably
he's-
coming
He
out.
had that Viagra, dude.
He's ready
He's
to
on
go.
that Viagra.
Period of time.
After my dinner, I take
Taliban
1.5
was killing
Viagra every night.
Like, we can't take
A lot
tours
of
of Camp David.
Melania loves it.
And I got involved with the Taliban.
So stop being an
because
elitist.
the Taliban
He
was
just said
doing
he
the
got
killing.
involved with
That's
the
fighting
Taliban.
force within
That's weird.
Afghanistan. They don't
Did
bother
you
doing
fuck
that
'em?
because
Who
they
now-
deal with
It
all
seems like that would be the
time.
wrong move.
But
Who
I
now
got
control
involved.
Afghanistan again?
And Abdul was the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban.
No, he
And I
wasn't.
told
He was a
Abdul,
three-point
"Don't
shooter
do
on the
it
LA
anymore.
Lakers.
You do it anymore, you're gonna have problems."
Says
And he said, "Why
the
do you send me a
debates.
picture
Are you
of
talking
this?" I
about
said,
Abdul
"You're gonna
Jabbar?
have to figure
Yeah.
that out, Abdul."
That's not
And
his
for
real name, you know.
18 months,
I know.
We had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo.
I would ask
It was a very
about
good agreement.
Tupac.
The reason
I'd be
it was
like,
good
hey, I got a
was
question.
we were
Is
getting
Tupac
out. We
dead
would've
or
been out
alive,
faster than
Kamala?
them, but we wouldn't have lost
David
the
Muir,
soldiers.
I would
We
go.
wouldn't have left many
UFOs.
Americans behind. And we
Real
wouldn't
or
have
fake?
left- We wouldn't have left
Which one of y'all are going to get to the bottom of it?
$85 billion
He's
And
already
whichever
doing it.
one
Trump's-
answered it
Trump's-
right.
He's already come
I'd
out and
vote
said
for
he's
him.
going to do it. He said he was doing it. Did you watch the Theo interview yet?
The agreement said you have
Oh,
to
Theo
do
Vaughn?
this,
No,
this,
yeah.
this,
With him?
this,
No.
this,
That's
and
good.
they didn't
I
do
barely
it.
have time to
They
watch
didn't
anything
do it.
right
the
now.
agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move
And
on.
these
Didn't do
people
it.
did the worst withdrawal and, in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's
And
why
by the way-
Russia attacked Ukraine.
It's
because
so
they saw
funny
how
because that's
incompetent
exactly how
she
people from New
and her
York that
boss
have lived
are.
there their whole
President
life,
Trump, thank you.
that's how they argue. They
I
just
wanna
keep
move on now
going
to
on
race
and
and
on, and they
politics
hit
in this
every
country.
single
Mr.
angle.
President, you recently
That's
said
why-
that
The way that you're
President
like,
Harris
like
I
it
didn't
takes
know
them
she
10
was
minutes to
black
tell you
until
why
a
the
number of
Giants
years
are way
ago
better than the
when she happened
Cowboys,
to
and you're like,
turn
dude, I
black.
just
And
had
that's
one
why-
question about
known
one
as
play
black.
last week.
I think
wanna
I've
ask a
always
bigger
said,
picture
I've said
question
it
here
100
tonight.
times
I
on the
love
show.
them,
Why do you
but
believe
they are
it's appropriate to
long-winded.
weigh in
Could
on
never
the
be
racial identity
with a
of
woman
your
from New
opponent?
York or New
I don't
Jersey.
care.
I think I could make
I
it
don't
work
care
with
what
a
he
New
is.
York
I
girl,
don't
like
care.
but it's
You
the
make a big deal
the
out of
long-windedness when they get in arguments that would
Whatever
really
she wants
test
to
me
be
as
is
a
okay
as a.
with
I'd be like, man, I'm gonna
But those are
go.
your words.
I'm gonna let you continue. I do a Kanye. I'd be like, I'm gonna let you continue saying this and
What is she
stuff,
doing?
but I
that she
can't.
put out.
Whoa!
And I'll say
Did
that.
he just say
And then
Kamala's putting
I
out?
read that she was black, and that's
Whoop.
okay. Either one was okay with me.
Ruh
That's
She
up to
put
her.
out.
That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts?
Damn.
That
I
is
think
a drink.
I mean, honestly,
times
I think
two.
it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
Whatever.
Back to racism.
Everybody's.
know that
I
we
don't
have
care
so
who
much
you are.
different
Has
Everybody's
used
So we
racist.
don't want
race.
this kind
Racist
of
doesn't mean
approach
anything
that is just
anymore to me.
constantly trying to divide us.
Like you
and
picked the
especially
wrong
by
fucking
race.
value
And
meal
let's
at Burger
remember
King now. They fucking call
how
you a
Donald Trump
racist.
started.
I got
He
called a
was
racist the other day.
a
Why?
land. He
'Cause
owned
you had a
land. He owned
Mercedes
buildings,
Benz
and
hat on.
He was investigated because
'Cause you support
he
Hamilton?
refused to rent property.
You
to
hate
black
white
families.
people.
Let's remember, this is
It-
the same individual.
It was.
Were you
who
called a
took
racist
out
by a white
full
person?
page ad
Nope.
in the New York
Uh-oh.
Times,
Yeah,
calling for the
by a
execution
black female.
of 5 young
It was fun.
black and Latino boys who
It was
were
real fun.
innocent. The
You
Central
wanna talk
Park
about it?
5
Again.
took out a full page ad calling for their execution. This is
What?
the same individual
Whoa.
who
We can do
spread
that?
birther lies about the first black
What's the number to the
president
Star
of the
Telegram?
United States.
I gotta place
And I
an
think the
ad
American
against Sasha
people
Bass.
748. Well, no, that's Dallas Times Herald. 748-1414.
Someone who
Yeah.
understands as I
Don't
do,
start
I
us.
travel our country.
We'll be singing that all night.
We see in each other a friend. We
I've
see
already been
in
singing
each
that
other
other
I don't
damn
know what you're
song.
talking about,
We
ma'am.
don't
How's this going to make the
a
country
leader
better?
Who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people.
Thanks for
all the
telling me he's an
time
asshole.
who tell me,
But
I knew that. Move
Can we
on.
please
Tell me
just
what
have
you're
It's
going to
none
do.
of y'all.
about
It's not the
how we're
leader
going to
that's have
invest in
either
the
one of y'all.
aspirations and
It's
the
the media
ambitions
that
and the
makes us
dreams
point
of
our
the
fingers
American
at each
people.
other.
Knowing that
Tell David
regardless
Muir that.
of
That's
people's
truth.
color or
That
the
is very
language their
truth.
grandmother speaks,
See,
we
put me in
all
her ear
have the
now.
same dreams
Okay,
and
hang on.
aspirations
Let's
and
get
want
a earpiece,
president
Kamala
who invests
earpiece
in
with
those,
Dustin
not
in
in hate and
the right ear.
Hey, Kamala.
Stubbs in the
Jump
left.
David Muir's ass.
President Trump, this is
Kamala,
now
would
your
you-
Uh-oh.
third time.
Look, he had duck lips.
Kamala,
This is the
you and
most
her.
divisive
What are the odds?
presidency
This is the time.
in the history of our country. There's never been anything like
9
it.
to
They're
5.
destroying our country. And they come up with
This
things
is
like
the time.
Wait, to tie it back to
just
the
said.
the pre-show.
Going back many, many years, when a lot of people,
He had
including
duck
Mayor
lips.
Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park 5, they admitted.
You got to
they
put your
said
arm
they
around the
pleaded guilty.
veterans.
And I said,
Look at
well,
his
if they
hand.
pled guilty, they
Hey,
that's
badly
fake
hurt
hand.
the
Did you
person
guys
who
know that there was a
ultimately-
wrestler in the 90s
And if they pled guilty,
named
then they pled, "We're
Jim
not guilty."
Harris, and his
But this
ring
is
name
a
was Kamala?
person that has to
Yeah.
stretch back
Technically, he
years,
was the first
40,
Kamala
50
Harris.
years ago, because there's nothing
What
now.
if-
I built one
what
of the
if this is
greatest
him? He had a
economies in the
change.
history of the
Oh,
world.
then I would have to
Build it
vote for him.
again.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'd be
he's
like,
older.
If you did trans Kamala, I'd be like, I'm in.
And you were
I
once
gotta
a
do that.
wrestlers?
You used to be
Yeah.
a wrestler down at the
Their oil
Sportatorium.
policies,
I'm in.
every single
Used to fund
Gets
Divine
my
Eric.
vote.
Remember
Yeah.
this.
Whoa.
She is Biden.
That's where I
You know,
got
she's
called a
trying to get
racist.
away from
Was
Because you
right
said-
around
I don't know
right
what
around
she
the
said.
corner from
She
where the
says,
Von Erichs live
"She
in
is
Keller.
Biden,
Oh,
the worst
I'll tell you this
inflation
story.
we've ever had, a horrible economy because
man,
inflation
just
has
go on
made
X.
it
You get
so
called a
bad
racist
that
daily.
you can't get away with that.
Yeah, I'm used to that. That's fine.
Keep your
Mics are
mouth
dead.
shut.
Clearly,
Turn her
I'm
mic
not
off.
Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald
You called
Trump.
him a racist, though.
And what I do offer
Kamala,
is a new
why'd you
generation of
call
leadership for our country.
Biden a racist?
One who believes
Where's the
in
fly?
what is possible. One who brings
I
a
thought in
sense
these
of
debates a fly is supposed to fly around and land on
about
him.
what we can do instead of always disparaging.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
His head's just on there. Hey, guys. I'm here to help you.
Who wants to arm wrestle?
His new show is wild.
The one on
Netflix.
on Nat Geo?
No,
Like
Chaos.
I have
on Netflix.
Oh
I guess I
yeah,
haven't
that's
watched
a modernization of the Greek gods.
Yeah,
in
the Greek
Olympus.
gods,
Yeah.
Is it? It's
Greek
not,
mythology.
Is it? So it's a. Is it fiction? Non-fiction?
No, it's fiction.
Fiction?
It's 100% fiction.
So it's not like one of his shows on Nat Geo, because that was, I thought his shows on that were
Oh,
genius.
that was good. That was
year of your child's life.
Does he talk about dinosaurs?
In that most
Like,
critical
I
No,
would
he
hang-
talked
stage of
about
your
blue
child's
jeans and
development.
I would
tennis
hang
shoes.
out with him.
plan
I would too.
Like
is about
he'd be at
heartbeat.
my dinner
allowing
table.
people to be able
I'd be
to
like,
pursue
all right, hey Eddie
what has
Vedder,
been
I'd like you to
fleeting
meet
in
Jeff
terms of the
Goldblum. They'd be like,
American
we've
dream
already
by
met.
offering
I told you
help with
that.
down payment of
That's Eddie.
$25,000 down payment assistance.
And Jeff
for
would be like,
first-time
But then you got
home
someone
buyers.
that talks like
Yes.
That's
this,
the
and he's
kind
all
of
over the place.
conversation I
I'd like,
believe,
good to see you,
David,
Jeff.
that people
And,
Like,
really
did you bring the
want.
mushrooms?
You know, I just want to talk about.
Did you bring
As
the
opposed
mushrooms,
to a
Jeff?
conversation
Can you
that
believe
is
how this debate is
constantly
going?
about
Because
being
I
It's
just
terrible. It's
I just
just
don't
like
understand how
Name
I'm going to do
calls.
this.
Look at our shoes. And the shoes are how
Turn
beautiful
the
they are.
page.
Vice
And
And Eddie's just over there.
Eddie's like, hey, we're going to drink some wine, Stubbs. Yeah, Eddie, go get the wine, man. And then Rob Zombie shows up.
He He's your third. Look, how mad he is. Look, wait. He's turning red.
Oh, yeah, he's pissed.
Even through his base.
The former president has said something twice that I need to respond
No,
to.
I'm sorry. We're gonna move on, Vice President Harris.
No, you're cut off.
This is now your
Y'all are all
third
cut off.
time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace
Well,
the
shut her
Affordable
up.
Care
Bitch, you better
Act,
shut the
also
fuck
known
up.
as
Look,
Obama
she's
Care.
all
You
right.
failed to
Don't
accomplish
forget.
that. You now say you're going to keep
Call
Obamacare
Trump a
in place
cocksucker.
unless we can do something much better.
Hey, the one that's
Last
asking the
month, you said,
questions.
quote, "We're working
Would you?
on it." So tonight, 9 years after you
Her?
first started running, do you have a plan?
She couldn't talk like
and
that.
Can you tell us what it
Like,
is?
you can't talk like
Obamacare
that.
was
please.
She got Janet
lousy
Jackson
healthcare.
vibes.
Always was.
Ooh,
It's not
nip
very
slip.
good today. And what I said,
She
that
just
if we
stands
come
up
up with
and goes,
something, we are working on things. We're gonna
Justin
do it, and we're
Timberlake's
gonna
just like,
replace
what the
funds.
hell?
I want
He
this
just-
debate to
all
go
of a sudden,
insane.
Obamacare.
The curtain
just-
drops and there's Justin
Wouldn't
Timberlake going,
change it. They
I didn't do
wouldn't
it.
vote for
I
Stands
didn't
there
do
about
it.
it. I didn't touch her.
They
I didn't
wouldn't
touch her.
vote to change it.
Is
If
he
they
still
would've
on
done
his
that,
coke
we would have
bender?
a much better
so.
plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats
T's and
came
P's
up
I
for,
with
can't wait till
Justin
she talks
Timberlake.
because I want to see what she
I
has
had a
to
choice
straighten
to
out.
make when I was
It's
president.
probably
Do
some.
I
She's
save it
like,
and make it
okay,
as good as it can
Hey,
be,
Kamala,
never
call him
gonna
a
be great,
cocksucker.
or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though
rot.
politically
Let it
it
rot.
would have been good to just let it rot.
Let
I
it
can't really
rot.
see her ears if
I
she has an
decided,
earpiece.
and I told my people, the top
He doesn't look
people,
like
and
he
they're
has
very
one.
good people. I have a lot of
Very good
in
people.
that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones too, and so do
Oh.
they. They have
Yeah,
really
like
bad
the
ones.
Department of
difference is
Education.
Who cares?
You're fishtailing, man.
I had a choice to make. Do
Get
I
the car
save
back
it
on the
and
goddamn
make it
road.
as good as it can
Man,
be, or do I let it
you're all in the
rot?
grass.
And I saved
Get it back on the
I did
track.
right thing.
You're ruining my
But
lawn.
It's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at
Now,
different plans.
twat waffle.
we
If
can
he,
come
if
up
he,
with a plan
if
that's
I was
gonna
him,
cost
I would ask
our
about. I'd
people,
say,
our
Kamala,
population less money. and
what
be
did
better
Montel's
healthcare
cum
than
taste like,
Obamacare,
you
then I would
whore?
absolutely do it. But until
Jeez.
then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
Do you think they,
So, Mr. Yes,
do you
no,
think
you still do not have a
they
plan.
would interrupt in that?
concepts
It's like,
of a
sir,
plan.
you can't say that.
I'm
And then
not
she just
president
turns around
right
and
now.
pees on him.
But if
Oh,
we come
this is
up
like a
with something,
Pimpedelic show
we're gonna
now.
change it. If we come up with
They start
something
throwing
that's
baloney
better
too,
and
and
less
I'm like, what the
expensive,
hell?
and there are concepts and options we have to do that, and you'll be hearing
He
about
is
it in
now
the not too distant future.
Lost
Vice
it.
President
He's
Harris,
out of control.
In 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private
Now he
insurance
sounds
and
like
create a
Biden.
government-run
He's just
system.
word
2
soup.
years later, you proposed a
Salad,
plan that
whatever.
included a private insurance
Word soup and
option.
salad.
What is your plan today?
Watch.
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private healthcare options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But
So she
I'll
doesn't
get to
like
that, Lindsay. I just need
socialized
to
health
Here he
care?
goes. Here she goes.
That the former president
This
has
is what
made.
she wrote
I've
down.
made very clear my position on fracking, and then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop
Ooh,
with
she
the
pissed off a lot of
bullshit
people
about
there.
this. As it
That
relates to the
sucks.
Affordable
She
Care
did.
Act,
She
understand
dug
that.
herself a
Just
grave.
look at the history to
She
know where
has
people
said a
stand.
couple of
When
times
Donald Trump
Well,
was
also
that there would be a
that's-
buyback
Sixty
That's
program.
also a
times
big
he
Democrat
tried to get rid of the
point.
Affordable
Like
Care
you don't
60 times.
you
I was a
don't
senator at the time.
stray away from
I will
the
never
gun
forget
control.
early
The
morning
gun control
issues.
subject, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a
It was up
Democrat.
Oh, I didn't even think
so
about that, yeah.
she just screwed a lot of
And the
vote.
late,
She pissed off a
great
lot of
John
voters.
She's not the first one, though. Obama actually went on
disparaged
record and said,
Yeah, there's a lot
being-
that think that you should
don't like
not have
him,
any
you
guns.
said,
I think the
at
NRA
time
should call her
because
up and sign
he
her
got
up.
caught. He was an
Great, man.
American
Yeah.
hero.
who's
The late,
president
great
I'm trying to
since
get her in our
Charlton
squad.
Heston died? Do you know?
What?
Walked onto the
What
Of
if
the
she
floor
NRA.
and
You think
said,
she plays
Oh.
good airsoft?
No, you don't.
I
No,
can get her
you
on the
don't.
airsoft squad.
No, you don't
Yeah.
get rid of
We
the
can go
I'd
to
let-
Affordable
D14.
Care Act. You have
Say,
no
hey, we can
plan.
put you in
And
our
what the
little
Affordable
Call
Care
of
Act
Duty
has done is
squad.
eliminate the
Yeah.
ability of insurance companies to deny people
Hey,
with
Kamala, what are you
pre-existing
doing
conditions.
later
I don't
tonight?
have to
Hop
tell
on
people
Xbox
watching
Live and
tonight,
we'll
you
play some
remember
Call
what
of
that
Duty
was
together.
like.
We'll do some shipment
Remember
for
The
when
one
warm
Warm
hopping on
We'll
she's
warm
going to
up
be
with
doing is
shipment.
on her husband.
If
After
you're not
ship-
busy
A child
being a
had asthma,
dishwasher.
if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a
Oh my
We're
God.
not being sexist. That's just us referring to
thankfully,
something that was
as
said
I've
that
been
was
vice
funny in a
president, and
public
we,
chat
over the
or a
last
private chat room.
That was funny for 5 people.
We have allowed for the first time Medicare to
Yep.
negotiate drug prices on behalf of
That was
you,
awesome.
the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did. And now we have
What?
capped the cost of insulin at $35
No, there
a
was
month.
some of that,
That
that
was
went
his
on
plan.
when he was in office.
Did you know that insulin plan was his, Dustin? And they
Yeah,
they
that,
take
yeah,
credit
that's
for
what I
it?
was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, they jacked
We will
it.
do that for all
That's
people,
crazy.
understanding that the value I
But
bring
remember,
to
they
this
also wouldn't
is
take
that
his
access to health care should be a right, And not
his
just a privilege
COVID
of those who
vaccine.
can afford it.
Yeah.
But as soon as he's out of office,
They took credit for that
they
too.
took credit for it.
His hyper speed or whatever.
And it was the same one his people he put into motion to get made.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take it, but now that he's out of office, oh, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And number one, John McCain
See, that's what he
fought
should be talking
That's
about.
what
It's
fucking
actual
politics
issues.
is so
It wasn't
stupid.
only him. It were all of the Democrats.
It's all just
Trump,
a
ask
bunch
her
of.
what
It's
her
super high
policies
school.
are.
We can do much
Yeah,
better
it is.
than Obamacare, much less money. But she won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump.
are paying privately for insurance.
That's the wrong thing
that
to
have worked
attack on.
hard and made
I'd go
money,
back
and they
on
wanna
some
have
of that
private-
major
she
stuff,
wants
the
everybody
Afghanistan
to be on
withdrawal.
government insurance
Say,
where you
y'all
wait
fuck this up.
6
but
months for an
insurance is a
operation
big
that you
deal
need
because
immediate
President
True.
Trump,
Yeah.
thank you. We have
All
another
has to
issue
do with
that
your
we'd like
cost
to
of
get to
living.
that's important
Hey,
for
look at
younger
his pin.
Americans, in particular younger
Does it
voters,
say
and
His
that's
flag pin?
climate
My name's
change.
Yeah, look at his
President
flag pin.
Trump, with regard to the
Does he have the
environment, you
regular
say that
stars
we
or does
have
he
to
have the
have
circle
clean air and
stars?
I
clean
can't tell. I
water.
was looking at that
Vice
earlier
President
in
If
Harris,
hers
it's
you
the
too.
say
circle
climate
stars,
change
there's
is
going to be some
existential
conspiracy
threat.
theories going
The
out.
question to you
shit.
both tonight is what
Yeah.
we
That
can
was
do
weird.
to fight
You mean
climate
like the
change,
circles,
and Vice
the 13
President Harris,
colony
start with
circle
you.
stars?
1
Look
minute
at
for
that
you
desk.
each.
Well, the former president had said that climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very
hoax.
real. You ask anyone who lives in a state
Oh
who
no,
has
it's regular stars. It's not
experienced
round
these
stars.
extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask
Jacked up,
anybody
Jill.
who has been
Why is the Earth
victim
cooling
of
right now
what
then?
that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go.
You know, there's a lot of
We
people say
know
we're
that
on the
we
edge of
can
entering
actually
another
deal
ice
with this
age.
issue.
Like
The
we're
young
starting to
people
cool
who
off.
How come none of
because
these-
we're about to
deeply
hit
about this
another.
issue.
Neither one of
And
these will
I'm
talk
proud
about
that
the
as vice
magnetic poles
president
about to
over the
flip.
last 4 years,
Oh,
we have
because
invested a
no one wants
I
to
haven't
talk
heard
about
about that.
in a
I don't think
clean
anybody-
energy economy.
Yeah, we're kind
While we
of.
have
That's the-
also
Everybody's keeping that
increased
hush hush.
domestic
Is there
gas
science around that, or is that just
Yes.
a theory?
No,
Nope.
they're moving.
We
The
have
North Pole is
created
moving
over
at a rapid rate.
800,000 new
There's some
manufacturing
scientists that are
jobs while I have
majorly
been vice
concerned about it too.
We
Yep.
have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing
What about the
jobs.
cave in
He
China
lost
that aliens live in?
manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud
Man.
to have the endorsement
Or
of
the
the United
Vietnam,
Auto
wherever it
Workers
is.
and Sean
What
Fain.
about on Antarctica?
What about
Period.
That
What about the
part of
Epstein
building
list?
A clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can
Shit,
do
just give me a
around American
Toyota. I'm good for
manufacturing
life.
and opening up auto plants,
But
not
her party
closing them
pushed
like
all the
happened under
American
Donald Trump.
automobiles out
President Harris, thank
of the
you.
It
country.
didn't happen under
Yeah.
Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000
Hell, all the Chrysler brands are owned by
manufacturing jobs
Stellantis.
this last
He
month.
pushed them all to
It's
Mexico.
going,
Sorry for
they're
you,
all
Stubbs.
leaving. They're building
Why?
big
Because
oil
you drive a
plants in
Stellantis vehicle.
Mexico.
I do?
In many
Yeah,
cases
Mandy's Jeep.
owned by China.
From
They're building these massive plants, and they think they're
2016?
going to sell their cars into the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah, they
because of
acquired them in
these people.
2008,
What
2009.
they have given to China is
I'm only buying
unbelievable.
Japanese
But we're not
vehicles
gonna let that. We'll put
or
tariffs on
Italian
those cars
vehicles
so they
Me,
can't
I'm
or
only
German vehicles.
That's all I'm
because
getting is
they will
German and
kill
Italian.
United
Yeah.
Auto
Volkswagens
Workers
aren't
and
what they
any
used to be,
auto
though.
worker, whether it's in Detroit
I didn't
or
say a
South
Volkswagen.
Carolina
Oh.
or
But
any
we do
other
need to
place.
work on your
What
Volkswagen.
they've
Get it out
done
to the
to
track.
business and manufacturing in this country
We do, man. It's just sitting there, man.
No.
We need to start
have-
working on it. Get it back
I've
on the
already
track.
said, once it's cold or once it cools off, I'm coming over here, and it'll probably take me a weekend. I can get it on the road.
No, I'm talking about souping it up, man.
Well, I got to get on the road first.
money from all of these different
Trailer.
countries, and then you wonder why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine?
I need to make it drivable.
We're supposed
Everybody
to be, we're
wants
supposed
me
to be
make it
monitor.
drivable.
We're supposed to be doing this, and we're talking about our race team, JJTM race. You know what? This would be a
Because
good time.
he's going all over the road. He's now turned into Biden.
Yeah, that's the thing. They swapped him out, man. The chips got.
They took
They just put Biden's chip. and
When
put it
she
in
shook his
Trump's.
hand,
Yeah,
she put the Biden chip in his palm.
man, he should have kept his
That's
gloves
my-
on.
All right, commercial time.
Commercial.
Yay.
All right,
How much more of this do we have? Because
it's 9:35. They only go till 10.
okay. Oh, we're not breaking. We're going to continue doing our show.
So, I saw something that appeared and then disappeared really quick.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Tool fucking with us?
I don't know the Sphere thing. I don't know.
Tool, what, the Spear in Las Vegas?
It's their Instagram account, and I don't. That's the only thing I've seen it on is the Instagram account.
And the X account.
People are like going, "Fuck!" Or what are you doing? Like, what is this real?
Is this real?
Yeah.
They teased Alex Gray artwork on the Sphere.
That would be a must.
with a little tune, and that was it. Nothing else was said. It was,
Yeah.
and it was a weird shot of like Vegas, but it looked like post-apocalyptic Vegas.
Yeah, it was cool.
shit.
Around it with the sphere there.
And it was a snippet of a Tool song?
Yeah. And that
Wow.
was it. Nothing else was said. Nothing else was going on.
And the comments are just blown up.
Have you guys
You know
talked
how
about
much that's going to be?
Oh shit, I can't even imagine.
Well, I think if we go right at the beginning when it starts, it'll be pretty expensive. But if we wait a few weeks, especially if they do a longer one,
That's
like
one
a
of the bands
U2,
we said
we did.
was a must.
I've heard about people getting fucked left and right on Spirit tickets, though. Doesn't matter what
Nine
event
Inch-
you go
Why?
see.
What do you
Like,
mean?
I thought that's what happened in Vegas. She got fucked anyway.
What do you mean?
No, like
scam?
No lube?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Well, I would try to do it the right way. Anyway,
Yeah, I would do it the right way, too.
We
We have a friend that went out there.
9 Inch Nails too.
That's
That's
another one.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
one of them, man. If
That'll be a
either one of
must.
those gets thrown in, that's a must.
I've heard that
Even
amps
if
aren't
both of
allowed
them
on
do it.
stage for the bands that play there because of something weird about the acoustics of the place.
I don't know. They probably
I don't
have
know.
all kinds of stuff they got to do there. I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to a show a couple weeks ago where there were just amps sitting there,
Yeah.
not even powered on.
Yeah.
It was made to look like the bands were playing
They've,
through
you
'em.
know, I started thinking about that. That
Shell
they
amps,
did that
shell
in
caps.
the 90s and 80s too. It was just they
Yeah.
used those cardboard cutouts, but they actually had a few of the cabinets that were live.
Yeah.
So, they
I don't
they
know.
want to clear they like doing that big old stomp thing those kids do these days in their metal bands and stuff. So they like all that room to get around
Yeah,
and
and
do
you
gymnastics.
can't. You stomp around too much, cabinets will fall on you.
That's right. You can't do your
No.
cord will get pulled too tight.
And you'll just yank a
You'll
cabinet.
yank a cabinet down.
So
Stops did it again. I've seen that that lady.
naked.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing before this comes back is we teased, or we kind of talked about. Yeah, Dave Grohl had a confession to make today,
Nicely done.
and it was he had a baby out of wedlock
How old is this
with a
kid
lady
now?
out of wedlock. It was just born,
Oh.
so he's coming out and telling everybody.
Oh, that I didn't know. So
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe this was an older kid that maybe
No.
he had in his 20s.
No.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's trying to make things right with his family
Hmm.
and everything.
That doesn't sound fun.
Imagine being his
has
age.
Has she said anything?
His age with all his money.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's a new kid on the picture.
Yeah.
This is like Game of Thrones shit. The young kid
Yeah,
may
but-
try to kill the other kids to get more money.
I think everything's gonna be cool.
This guy looks weird.
Colin Allred?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
saw a commercial for him on when I was watching a YouTube video earlier.
You think you could kick his ass?
He looks like an MMA fighter.
He does.
Like
He looks pretty big, like over maybe like 6'3",
that guy
6'4".
just looks like a fucking ingrown hair.
Zodiac Killer, yeah.
Hey, man.
But that guy, he looks like Tito Ortiz's brother.
Who?
Colin Allred.
Let me see how tall this dude is because he looks pretty damn big.
He's in politics now. Did you know that?
Is he?
Yeah.
Tito
After he got
Ortiz?
rid of
Huntington
Jenna?
Beach. Yeah, I think he started and did something with Huntington Beach, like ran for mayor or something.
So he's a righty.
Oh yeah.
He also
Yeah,
dated
is.
Kat Von D,
He
too.
endorsed Trump real early, I
Did he?
believe. Yeah. He's always been that way though, I believe. I don't think he's one of the I think he already leaned that way before COVID.
He
a
made
lot of those
Jenna
MMA
a
guys,
lesbian.
a lot of those MMA guys, they weren't really that hardcore until COVID happened, and then they were all total.
Oh shit! Colin Allred used to be a linebacker
Conservative. What was that?
for
That guy was
Baylor.
on a lot of coke. Did you see his eyes?
Did
The
you guys hear
weatherman?
me?
What? Huh?
Colin Allred used to be a linebacker for Baylor.
Oh yeah.
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 Here again.
I bet you could kick his
David
ass still.
Muir and Lindsay Davis.
David Muir.
Welcome back
And
tonight. The
David
time has come for
Emilius.
closing statements.
What?
of
My
Mr.
name is.
Harris.
I'm a
We
puppet.
begin with
Closing statements. Thank God.
All right, let's see this.
So I think you've
Cunt!
heard tonight two very
That's
different visions
car
of
wash,
what we're doing.
There's a
One
time
that is
they get 2
focused on
minutes.
the future,
Uh-oh,
and the
here
other
comes
that
some
is
word
focused
salad,
on
I
the
bet.
past,
Uh-oh.
and an attempt to
Hold on.
take us backward.
People trying to be backwards and
But
front.
we're not going back. And I do
Drink.
believe
Drink.
that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations,
Have
the
you published your
dreams,
plan?
the hopes, the ambition
think they're
of
gonna
the
let you just
American
guess
people,
on
which
that.
is why I intend to create an opportunity economy investing in small businesses, in new families,
you do this
in
the
what
last
we
3
can do
years,
around
though?
protecting seniors,
Why
what
don't
we
you do
can
it right
that
now?
is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together.
believe
That
I
is
can
about
fly.
sustaining America's standing in the world
I
and ensuring
believe
that
I
we
can
have the
touch the
respect that we
sky.
so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal
Do
fighting force
not
in
attack
the world.
Trump.
I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights
Do
and
not
freedoms,
say his
including the
name.
right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and
It's
not
my
have her
body.
government
Drink.
tell her what to do. I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator.
I know where
and
you
now
thought that
vice
was going.
president. I've always been a client.
A
The
prostitute.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked of
Can
a
I
victim
ask-
slip?
or
They need to
a
ask
witness,
about
are you a
Montel Williams
Republican or a
now.
Democrat?
Willie
The only
Brown.
thing I ever
Sylvia
asked
Brown, you
them,
mean?
are you okay?
No, Willie Brown.
And
the
that's
mayor.
the kind of president we
Sylvia
need
Brown used to
right
be on
now.
his show all the time.
Someone who cares about you and is not putting
You
themselves
don't care
first.
about us. Stop saying
I
that.
intend to be a president for all Americans.
You're the
and
same
focus
boss,
If
just
she
like
even
the
said-
old
can do over the
boss.
next 10 and
You're
20
the new boss,
years
Meet
just
the
like
to
new
build
boss.
back up our country by investing right now
Same as the
in
old
you,
boss.
American
If they
people.
were honest and
Vice
said, "I don't
President
care about
Harris,
you," I
thank
might.
you, President Trump.
At least you're being
So
brutal
she just
when you're
started by
honest.
saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going
So
to
you
do
gotta
all these
attack her.
wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it?
Tired.
She's been there for three and a
This
half
is the
years.
main tack part.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5
Fix the
years
border.
to create jobs and all the things we talked about.
Well, we spent
Why
a year and a half trying to
hasn't
figure out if
she
our president
done
was
it?
alive.
She should leave right
Yeah.
now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't
Okay,
believe in.
I
You
do have a
believe in
real question
things
about
like,
this.
We're
Yeah.
not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil
If
fuel.
she's
We're not
really
gonna
worried
do
about Roe
things
versus
that are
Wade,
going to
why
make this
doesn't she do
country
something
strong,
about it
whether
right
you
now?
like it or
Because
not. Germany
if the
tried
polls are
that,
right and
and
he's
within 1
leading
year
by
they were
just
back
a
to
margin,
building
a little bit right now,
normal
wouldn't that
energy
worry you?
plants. We're
And
not
be like,
ready for
what
it.
have you got
We
to
can't
lose?
sacrifice
Just do the Hail
our
Mary?
country for
Just
the sake
make
of
it.
bad vision.
It's 'cause-
But
Take
I'll
care of
just
it
ask
right
one
now.
simple question. Why didn't
It's because someone
she do
that
it?
she's that's
We're a
probably
failing
getting paid
nation.
by doesn't want her to
We're
do
a
that
nation
yet.
that's in serious decline. We're being
Which
laughed
makes me
at
think
all
she
over
wouldn't
the
do it
world.
when
She's
she was in
bought and
office.
paid.
I know the
She's one of
leaders
the
very
worst
well.
bought
They're
and
coming
paid.
to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're
Star
going to end
Wars.
up in a third world war, and it'll be a
It was
war
faked.
like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have
you
done
seen them?
to
They
our
can actually
country,
fly our
and
helicopters
maybe
now.
toughest of all is allowing millions of
I was like,
people to come into our country.
that's
many
bad.
of
Yeah, they
them
got
are
together
criminals,
and started
they're
figuring it out,
destroying
didn't
our
they?
country.
Learned how to
I saw a
fly.
few
The worst
videos like that.
president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center.
All right.
I'm Lindsay
The whole
Davis.
country
And I'm
right
David
now is
Muir.
going.
Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the
What
world
was
and from
that?
all of us
Yeah.
here at
What the
ABC
hell was
News.
that?
Everybody's going, what the fuck did we just
Yeah.
watch? And
It's like, what a bunch of garbage, man.
this Saturday Night Live's going to run on this. Like,
Oh, you know, and they just walk their separate ways. They don't shake hands.
they didn't shake hands?
Nope.
They can't be civil. No. Hey, wasn't there one point where she called him a disgrace? Or
Yes.
was she talking about something else?
No,
She
she
just
did.
straight up said,
Yeah.
you're a disgrace.
You're a fucking disgrace.
You make me
You
sick.
cocksucker.
All right.
I don't know what the fuck I just watched, but it was fun.
It was
I
fun.
do-
I had more
Was
fun
it?
watching it with y'all than by myself at
Yeah.
home going, what a bunch
Yelling
of idiots.
and throwing stuff at the TV.
Stupid.
Beating your kids.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Speaking of beat kids, some
What?
Browns beat there was some Brown spousal abuse, I bet, up in Cleveland, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys
The
starting
Cowboys
with
are
a
back.
win.
Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Running the table.
Running the table.
Not gonna
17-0.
lose, man.
Did you see
Not
that?
gonna lose. 17-0.
Dak got that new contract. It's over.
It's on.
That guy has fucked an animal.
That person's dead.
That guy right there, he's had sex with animals.
You said that blonde, older blonde chick's to her.
And
she's dead.
Yeah, that's
just being propped up like Mick Mars.
Yes, that is Mick Mars, actually.
That's an audio animatronic. Disney's gotten really good at them.
Yeah.
Martha Raddatz.
She doesn't look. She looks like she doesn't take her vitamins.
That was a villain from Dragon Ball Z.
Like, she needs to eat some. Yeah, she doesn't eat her Fruit of the Looms. Or
Would you?
what,
Fruit of the Looms? Why would the fuck do she eat Fruit of the Looms?
I'm sorry, that's the underwear.
Those are underwear.
Fruity Pebbles, or what is it? The fruit of the what was it called? The
Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops?
The vitamins that were made in they
Flintstone
were like Flintstone
vitamins?
vitamins. Yeah, Flintstone Kids. Wow, I backed myself into so
Wow, that
much
was amazing.
terrible.
Oh my
conversation.
god.
Okay, so would you break a hip?
She'd probably break a hip.
Man,
That
she
doesn't
rode on-
make mac and cheese noises.
If she rode on top
no,
of you.
there's no way, man. I'm not attracted to that at all. I don't know, man. That might be your thing, but I'm not into the
Even after a couple-
Skeletor look.
The one on
that's
the left, though, she's kind of decent.
Yeah, I'm in on the one on the left. Even if it's a dude, I'm in.
Okay.
You never know these days, man. With
I'm
all the
glad you're-
hims and these
I'm-
and
I like
all
your new
that.
policy.
You gotta freaking be nice to everyone.
What about him?
No, I'm out. Even if that's a chick.
Yeah, you said he kills animals.
And
He
you,
fucked
yeah,
an animal.
right.
Yeah.
Look how, man, she looks crazy, dude. Like, she really does look like something from Tales from the Crypt.
She's not going to make the next debate in 4 years.
The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
2028, she's gone.
Yeah, there's no way
There's
she's
no way she
lasting
makes
much
another
longer.
4
She's
years.
got to be 129.
Maybe that's
right
why
now.
she's there, because she just doesn't care. She's like, I don't care. I'm not going to see this term out.
Yeah. She's not. She's not wrong about that at all. That guy's got molly warts on his face
Jonathan
that need to be
Carl's
chewed
just-
off.
By a rat.
Yeah.
Now, this is sweet and clean.
Mary Bruce. is
Mary
her name.
Bruce.
Yeah, Thomas is a fan of Mary Bruce. You like them lips, don't you?
Yeah, she's got some DSLs on her.
What does that mean?
What is that?
High-speed
I don't
internet?
understand what that means. Is that some? Is
Did
that
you
like
know?
Charter Communications internet package?
Did you know that she is the younger sister of Robert Bruce, King of the Scots? That's the first one that came up, but that's not. That's
Bruce
not right.
Wayne? No, that's stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to
You know
figure
what?
out. I'm trying to figure out her stats. She'll be 42 on May 23rd.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to train her, Matt.
22. No,
She's
that
ready to
was
go.
2 years ago. So she's 44 now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, she's the same age as I am.
She can
or
still
1
make
year
mac and
younger.
cheese noises.
I guarantee you, she's divorced and taking it out on the world.
Her net worth,
Power to the women.
her career, she's in the range of $700,000 US.
That's it?
Yeah.
Still more than I make.
Well, her salary is about 117 a year as a TV reporter.
What is the women's salary compared to men's now? Is it like
Oh.
74%? Has it gotten that high yet? We need to knock that. You know what? We need to. knock
She's
that
not
down
making
a little
anywhere
bit longer.
near
We
what
need-
David Muir's making.
We need to drop the women's pay back down to like 26% of what men make, I think.
What if that guy right there just suddenly went, I make more than all of y'all here because I'm a man. With that,
And that turns back up. Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Here
Who
we
is
go.
this?
This guy
Who's
here,
this?
man. This dude. Whoa. Whoa.
whoa! You just
Man.
caught me doing blow off a stripper's butthole.
It's Tim
What
Wall.
is happening?
Oh, yeah. This
that
is
looks like Max Headroom.
this is Kamala's running mate.
The AI generated background's weird.
This is so weird.
The chroma key.
This is so weird.
It's out of
man. It looks
focus
like
for one.
AI.
It is.
It's probably a green screen.
And he does keep doing the Max Headroom.
Yep.
You know, this is why I won't vote for him, because they're using a PC instead
Yeah,
of a Mac.
Yeah.
If they were using a Mac, it wouldn't look this
He's
bad.
obviously
even
a
tell?
droid. That's a droid. That's a droid.
Are you
man.
talking about the background generation, or do you actually
All of
see
it.
a Mac in the background?
Dude, he looks
Because
crazy.
I see that looks like a fax machine on top of that shelf back there.
He looks
Motherfucker used
crazy,
a
dude.
fax machine out.
That guy looks crazy, man. Look at his face. That guy's a nut.
What just happened
I'm
to his eyes?
out. Dude, I'm out, man.
Wait till they show JD Vance.
It looks like somebody that you'd see on a used car
That guy's an Uncle
dealership
Dutchie.
commercial.
He probably is too, man.
I don't
Have
know
you
about
guys seen the Hillbilly Elegy on Netflix? That's actually based on him.
On
who?
him?
JD Vance?
Yeah, on JD Vance.
Is it as good as the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
No.
I don't know. I haven't watched all of it.
Guarantee
I've just
it's
seen clips. Amy Adams plays his mom in the movie.
So, is it? You've just seen clips of this.
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
watched
I haven't watched it all the way through.
I've seen trailers and stuff for it. I haven't
Look at
watched
these
it
two
yet, though.
stare each other down.
Man, that's creepy.
That
This
is
is one of
very
the creepiest broadcasts I've ever seen in news and network TV.
Another
for
thing.
sure.
Why did
So creepy. It's like this is what Russia was like, I think, in the 80s. Is this kind of crap?
Why did she pick an old white guy to be her running mate? Is my question.
Because it's the same reason that
I thought we were getting away from old white men.
I think it's the same reason that Biden picked her is because they wanted to mass appeal.
She's an
get
old
the
white
whi-
man?
No,
Oh.
I think that they did not. They know they have to have some kind of white male vote because they can't lose any votes this time around because it's that tight.
Why? They can just
So
make
there
them
is
up.
a white liberal. There are white liberal men, and they had to appeal to keeping them around.
Oh, there's JD Vance.
So it's all like
There he is. Look.
6D chess now. I think
You know what he looks like?
he looks drunk.
He looks like Garth Brooks. With
Blaming on my roots.
He looks like he knows where the bodies are.
Oh, the what?
This lady eating the cat keeps coming up at the top
I know,
of
it's
my
wild,
X,
isn't it?
And I'm tired of looking at her eat.
Dude, X is
fucking cat.
I'm about to have to stop looking at X because there's just so much death videos now. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm programming myself. Y'all ever have that?
No, I
You
just
guys ever feel like you're being programmed from your phone?
Every day. Every day.
I just went Max Headroom then.
I watch police activity videos willingly.
I watch police porn.
Get out of your car. I'm gonna stick
Hands
it in
behind
your
your
anus.
back, Mr. Stubbs.
Y'all want? Let's see here.
Let's do something funny and then be done.
You want
I
to do
gotta
something
pee.
fun since all of
Yeah.
this has been
Yes.
shit?
Yes,
and then,
yes.
I'm depressed now. What a train wreck.
Let me depress you one more time, real quick, before
Should
we
have
do
just
something
stayed home and
fun.
watch It's Always Sunny.
I'm gonna see if y'all agree with this. It'll be a music thing.
Okay.
But first off, this Friday is the last episode of the Grand Tour, and it's where a bunch of manly men will be crying into their Kleenex because it's like the men's version of The Notebook. And Era has come to the end. Have you ever watched Top Gear or the Grand Tour?
Yeah, actually, I've seen Top Gear off and on.
Greatness.
The original British one, not the U.S.
Yeah.
garbage one.
Yeah, the original one with Jeremy, James, and Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the other one is still running, right?
No.
They shut it down.
The British
it
one
wasn't
shut down.
nearly as, the one that they did with
one of the guys that were on it nearly died.
Top Gear,
the Top Gear, so they killed Top Gear right after that. It's been about 2 years.
like while they were filming or something, or oh, what happened? Was it an accident?
It was some weird trike bike thing, and the production team had gotten real loose with shit and weren't taking care of safety precautions right.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a former footballer over there, and he wrecked, and it nearly ripped his face off. And he's got all sorts of massive scarring and everything in it.
Yeah.
Like, it fucked him up pretty bad.
Dude,
and they were like, yeah, we're going to just end it.
When Homeboy hit that wall last season.
Oh, and
on
James?
Yeah,
James
man.
hit it.
I was thinking that he was going to be injured in that one.
It kind of fucked him up, too. And then...
it seemed like he was pretty jarred from it.
Richard, he had the massive wreck that fucked his head up. Like, he
driving
still
right.
talks about how it fucked his head up. Like, it mentally screwed him up because he was in a jet car and wrecked it. And then he wrecked another car on the show, and then he wrecked a $4 million electric car on the Grand Tour.
Do they have videos of their wrecks and follies and stuff? Because I never have seen that. I would like to
you
see
can go
that.
it. You can see them. They're up there. They're on there. They talk about them.
Yeah.
Get them out there. But Richard missed almost an entire season of Top Gear because of that.
Yeah. It's a freaking dangerous hobby, man.
But I would love to have that fucking job.
So I'm telling you, man, that would be awesome.
If I could, if we could turn this stupid podcast into an auto show,
yeah,
where we got to go drive around exotic vehicles and have
I'd sign
fun.
it up for in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
That would be fun.
I would do it.
Yeah, it's crazy because 303 has a lot of these
Pioneer Parkway?
Cool, yeah, Pioneer Parkway and 303. Like 30, and they basically come up one side of 303 and go down the other, man. And it's a lot of people that go to hookah bars and stuff because they all have, like, I guess that's where they meet and stuff. Like when I leave here, there'll be a shit ton of people at the hookah bars on 303, and they all got badass cars. Well, they'll start going up and down 303, and man, you'll hear sometimes over the fence. I'm like, dude, that's got to be a Ferrari, like the way it sounds. And some of the like I know you'll hear something like that's not an American sports car. That's a fucking like Ferrari or a Lambo right there. And you'll hear, every once in a while you'll hear an electric one, and you're like, oh man, shit, dude. It's like it's a cool place to live if you're into cool hot rod noises. A lot of bikes.
Too bad
man.
everybody.
Too bad that there's
is a douchebag in that realm.
Oh yeah, the
Like we were talking
car.
about earlier.
Yeah, I bet you that we could find. We're gonna find something.
could.
Especially if we did a podcast. If we started a third podcast or something.
Third podcast.
Yeah, like not Mark Cuban. Like
Oh, yeah.
a different
That was car.
niche.
Yeah.
Like a niche, like not band or anything like that. Something totally different. I bet you we'd get invited to some pretty cool shit.
Yeah, when I was running around in that car club for a few years.
Was this when you're Porsche or the
when I had
Bug?
the Porsche? I'd sometimes take the Bug, but it was just to be there running around the Bug. But when I had a buddy who had an Eclipse that was all tricked out and everything, and
Yeah.
it was the rice burner crowd, you know,
Mhm.
all those Japanese imports and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I
just
saw a badass Supra
everybody
the other day.
was just fucking stupid douche.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't race anything that was meaty.
Yeah.
And they always wanted, the problem with everybody around here back at that time was it was second gear start, which was stupid. You know,
with the 30 drops? I like doing those.
no, you're rolling in
yeah,
second
30
gear
drop.
go, yeah.
The
But they wouldn't go to an actual track and race. Like the tracks were dying off because none of these stupid ass cars would go out there, and they wouldn't want to race a Corvette.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to race a Mustang. They wouldn't want to race a Porsche.
That's the
You
thing.
know,
My
it's like-
Mustang. I wasn't as much into performance cars as I was into just fucking horsepower back then. And I had a 91 GT, and that thing was so fun. But it was a different type of douche. It wasn't. It was. This was still the old school douche. It wasn't the rice burnery douche where we had cool. Like there wasn't any imports that ever hung out. Like, and we would always meet at Mama's Pizza at Green Oaks and Little Road, man, and we'd go to Carter and stuff. That was the shit, dude. Doing that, that was so fun. But the
Was your
guys,
five-
there were douches too that were doing that as well.
What year was your Mustang?
91.
Was that when they were still boxy?
Yeah, I love that.
I remember
car,
your
man.
91 Mustang.
Yeah,
You
fucking-
still drove it in the Steadfast days.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Well, this girl has a baseball bat in her butthole.
Whoa.
Jeez.
But anyway,
I gotta get off X here. This is stupid.
Close X.
Yeah, it's gonna suck, but if the Grand Tour is an amazing show, it's fun, and a lot of it, I mean, is staged or whatever for entertainment value, but it's still their journeys.
How many
are
shows
fun.
are going to be on this? Is it
It's just the one.
They're just released the total last one. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be another journey one.
What
All
are
right,
Have they? Where was this one at?
it's in Africa,
Oh, cool.
but I think they're keeping it secret because they did one where they went through Zimbabwe, I think, at one time. I think it was Zimbabwe, but they went to this desert that had an island on it, and they've done a little teaser that they're going back to an island, and it's this badass desert island that no one has ever made it all the way across the desert till they did it.
Yeah.
In their vehicles that they had, and they kind of made a teaser like we're returning to a favorite island of everyone's, and it was like
Question. I just
What?
thought of it. All right. If you had to pick an occupation, all right, I'm going to give you 3. Don't
Okay.
say until I've said all 3.
I could be
Why has
Chris
he got-
Christie?
You could be Chris Christie and eat a lot of shit.
why does he look like a pizza?
I don't know.
He does.
Dude, when he
Like
was
his
on
name should be Pizza. He looks like Mr. Pizza.
Pizza the Hut.
when he
Yeah,
was
from the
on
Garbage Pail Kids.
Slow Jam the News on the Tonight Show. Oh my God, that was fucking gold. Jimmy Fallon spat so many fat jokes at him.
Is he Mr. John?
Yeah.
Papa John?
No, I've seen Papa John. That's on him.
Oh,
I had a in-law that looked just like that dude, man.
like a pizza?
No, like Papa John.
Oh,
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John.
I think this guy has Han Solo frozen.
You
in
know
his
he's
mantle.
got bad thyroids, man. Look at that shit. That dude's just got swole thyroids all up on the side of his face.
And she used to be on Star Trek.
She looks like a troll, like from the
Shane-
Justin Timberlake troll animated movie.
Nichelle Nichols.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in Deadpool, but she played a blind lady.
Oh wait, no, that was Leslie Uggams. Yeah. That's not Nichelle Nichols.
You can tell Donna Brazile is getting close to having pink hair and purple
It's
hair.
Brasilia.
Oh,
Get it right.
Brasilia. Yeah.
I am kind of a fan of her not going wigged out.
I bet she has long nostril
She's going
hair.
natural. Going natural.
Oh, you actually meant that in a literal sense, like she's not wearing a wig.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
She went all natural. That's
Oh,
kinda cool.
here's this guy, this Beavis and Butthead looking
This guy.
motherfucker.
That guy has had given and taken.
Reince Priebus? What the fuck kind of a name is that?
Yeah, he's got a last name of a
Priebus.
car.
I drove.
Oh, that's a
former
Prius.
White House chief of
Prius.
staff. Hell, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
I
fucking
thought
know.
Toyota was going to stop making the Priebus.
He looks like a douche that would drive a Priebus.
He looks like he's
I've got
inflated.
nothing. I've got nothing. I look like a fish or a frog. I've
He
done a
needs
lot of
some-
cocaine.
he needs a little
and
bit-
yes, Dustin, I have done anal.
He needs a little bit of omega
He needs some-
3 in his life.
Yeah.
Because he looks very inflamed.
I wonder if we're going to see a bad lip reading.
I think he's got bad thyroids too, man. You can see his thyroid sticking out
It's been a
under his ear.
long time since he's heard mac and cheese noises.
I think Brazil's heard mac and cheese noises like last night.
Yeah.
Get over here, Whitey. Lick this pussy.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
And this is sober Stubbs.
You know that's funny though.
Jeez.
If she said that,
All right,
you
here's
can just see the picture of that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. What?
Just like,
Yeah, what else you got? Dustin?
all right. Here's the music.
Get
thing
in here.
that we can close on. Good God. Here's the music thing we can close off on. So this is a list of 10 metal
Sorry.
bands whose third album is their best,
okay.
and we'll see if we agree on this.
All right.
Number 1, Deftones, White Pony.
No. Round the Fur was their best album.
I like White Pony. I don't know if
I go with Around the Fur.
I don't know
too.
if I would place it in front of Around the Fur though.
That's a burn.
Rivers of Nile, Where Owls Know My Name.
No idea.
What?
Okay, skip that. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime.
Yeah, I thought that was our landmark album. That everyone
Have you listened to it
gravitated
lately?
towards. No.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
my-
did when I was doing the beer sales, man. I
did
cranked
it
that
like
every once in a while.
2 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
And
Still
how
holds
much
up.
of it lines up to what's going on today?
Yeah.
It's shocking.
And the audio of it's really good. Like that.
Yeah.
Who produced that?
I have no idea.
Jeff Tate actually, after he went solo and left, he did Operation Mindcrime Part 2.
I'll agree with that one.
I agree with this one too. Tesseract, Polaris.
I don't know enough about Tesseract, which album I like,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
like generally when I hear them, I'm like, this is cool shit.
Never
Polaris
really
is
listened to him.
like 10 years old. It's pretty good. The Contortionist Language.
I don't know enough about that band's music.
I haven't listened to enough of their stuff either.
I'm willing
now
to
we
learn.
get into the
Guys, if you want
to
to send me a CD or something, or
or
an
you
album,
could
a
just
vinyl or something,
hop on Apple Music.
I'd
probably
rather
play it.
them send me one. Okay, guys. Okay, unless you want to go to Knuckletown.
Slayer,
Would you
Rain
take
and
me to-
Blood.
Ooh, man, I like. Yeah, it's got to be that.
That's their.
It's got to be Rain and Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast.
I love South of Heaven and yeah, yeah, that's the best.
I think so too.
That was
It's
the
got
first
everything
album
out
with
there.
I would like to run this list by Andrew.
Yeah, I was going to say,
see-
wasn't that
see
their
what his
first
take
album
is
with
on
Bruce
this.
Dickinson? Was Number of the Beast? Because they had a
Yes.
vocalist before him.
It
Yeah.
is. The
And they
first
were
was
like
Bruce.
more on the verge of like Brit rock and like punk almost.
Rammstein, Mutter.
Mutter.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's the best though.
I don't know if it's the best.
That man, the one with
Links.
the one with you got the pussy, I have a dick.
Oh,
that
that-
is a really good. Is that
That came later.
That came later.
Yeah, way later. That's a really good album. And their last one they just put out's really good too.
Yeah, and he's coming solo.
Yeah,
To
that
Lindemann.
dude's talk about a book. He
Yeah.
could write a book.
Yeah.
Metallica, Master of Puppets.
All right, let me think about this. I'm gonna say yes. That's their best album to me. Is Master of Puppets.
It's either that or Ride the Lightning.
Comes down to those two with me too.
Damn,
But I would be.
That's a hard choice.
What's Mastodon's third album?
At least it's not Justice for All, though.
It would be
Leviathan?
Yeah, right.
Or Remission?
Ooh.
Speaking of,
I bet you
Well,
they have a
do
good one.
EPs count?
Well, that's the thing. They also have stuff that
Oh,
they
yeah.
did with. Oh,
Are we
what's his
talking
name?
full album or
They had a singer
full album, I
that
figured.
Johnson jammed with. Gary and them. They had music then too, and they were called Mastodon. Do you count that or just major releases?
Well, the third one's Blood Mountain.
Then yes, that's my favorite album. By
If you
them.
count Remission, Leviathan, then
Blood Mountain is the best album that Mastodon's done. I've been pretty vocal about that, right? And you're the one that flip flops between
Crack the Sky
Crack
and
the
Blood Mountain.
Sky and Blood Mountain, and then every once in a while, I'll start getting a little itch for Crack the Sky and
The Hunter?
Leviathan.
Oh.
I'll be like, man, these are really good albums, you know. Especially when they played it live, the Lamb of God show. I was like, man, this is one of their top 3 albums.
My daughter's into
Leviathan.
Mastodon now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And they're releasing the 15th anniversary of Crack the Sky right now.
That's crazy, man.
All right.
I Was Once Eaten would be a 15-year-old band right now.
So that's the 10 with a third. Then they after this was another list with 10 bands where their second album is their best. And I'm going to skip this one. No one listens to them. Slipknot, Iowa.
Ooh, that's a good.
Their debut still holds a special place in my heart.
Debut
though.
is really good, but Iowa's really good, man. I think Iowa's when I really became a fan of them. Like I was like, okay, this
remember
band's badass.
Seth playing Iowa to me, and me going, "What the fuck is this shit?"
That's
Oh
when
my
That's when you're like, okay,
God.
I've heard Slipknot before, and like, you know, and this
But
is really
this
good
was-
metal. Like that's when I was like, this is a good band now. Like,
Yeah.
I started realizing that this wasn't just your typical new metal band. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, these guys got something. Even though their debut was so good too, though. And then some of their later stuff, right before he started fucking around with Stone Sour and all that, the push my fingers into my eyes, it's the only thing.
That's the problem with me. Is Volume 3 I love.
I know, it's
I
a
love
good
Volume
album.
3.
Subliminal Verses.
Yeah.
All right, Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
Man, I don't know.
With Paranoid, Iron Pig, War Pigs, Iron Man, Planet Caravan, Electric Funeral.
I'm a fan of the one with Hole in the Sky. Is that Sabotage? Which one's
That might
the Hole
be
in the Sky?
Sabotage.
That might be Sabotage.
That's my favorite Black Sabbath album because I worked at a radio station that played everything off of Paranoid, like every single fucking song all the time.
And that album was supposed to be called War Pigs, but Warner
Yeah.
Bros. Wouldn't let them use that as the album title. Thought it was too
What do you think?
controversial.
What do you think on that one? On Black Sabbath?
I would go with Paranoid.
Yeah.
Just 'cause
Commercial wise, definitely. But
most of their greatest hits are off of that one.
Yeah.
Next up, System of a Down, Toxicity.
Oh, that's still my favorite album by then.
Yeah, me
yeah,
too.
I think so too. This one, Alice in Chains, Dirt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really
But
good
Facelift
one.
is so good too. But Dirt, yeah. Fear Factory, Demanufacturer.
I've never been a fan of them.
I wasn't.
I love that record.
I didn't listen to them much either. Like some of their stuff's really cool. Like I've heard some stuff. I'm like, oh, this is pretty rocking. Who is it? Fear Factory. Like, okay, cool.
Their earlier stuff was heavier on the industrial side, wasn't it?
That one is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you care about Trivium?
No.
I don't know enough, but like of this-
Ascendancy.
I don't know enough of about that band. Like
Yeah.
I haven't gone real hard into them, but every time I listen to them, they remind me of like New School. Them and that other band, that Avenged Sevenfold, they remind me of like a New School Iron Maiden type band. And I'm growing more and more respect
like-
for those type of bands. Like
theatrical
Avenged Sevenfold, all their shit is not stupid. Like they're not like I think they get put in that whole Five Finger Death Punch commercial metal kind of section of the store.
Yeah.
But they're not. If you listen to Avenged Sevenfold, you're like, dude, they're fucking good players.
And Trivium, that guy, both of the singers play guitar? They play rhythm, I believe, while they're playing too. Those are some cool ass riffs and guitar parts that they play.
Who the fuck told me? I think it was Chris when I went to Black Sabbath with him.
Josh
or
Crary
Deep
was
Purple with him.
always into those bands.
But he was like, we were talking about modern bands that would have the longevity like a Deep Purple or a Yes would. And he's like, Avenged Sevenfold. He's like, they fit right in there. I was like, what? That's who you went to was Avenged Sevenfold? Right off the bat?
And what about King's X? They're still touring.
Fuck
They've been
yeah.
together for almost 40 years now.
And they
But
still
they're not,
fucking
they're
live.
not
They
a
still
newer
smoke.
band.
No, they're not.
King's X has been around forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't think of
That's
that,
what we
but
were
they
talking
have.
about
Avenged
was-
Sevenfold's been in Trivium. Both of those bands have been around for a while now.
Almost
man.
20
They're
years,
not-
yeah.
I would say they've done it right.
So they would probably be touring Dickies to 3,000 people. Like
think that's all
Deep
they would
Purple
sell?
And yes. I don't know. Avenged Sevenfold. No, they played there and sold it out not too long
Dickies?
ago. Yeah,
I
last
would have
year.
gone to
beginning
that
last
show.
year.
Was it Trivium and Avenged Sevenfold?
No, it was like Creed or something like that. Avenged Sevenfold and something. It was weird. It was a weird lineup.
That is.
Strapping young lad.
Oh, fuck yeah. Strapping
City.
Young Lad. Great band. Now I'm going to obsess on his stuff now.
Never really
Well, you got a lot of stuff of his you can listen to,
And it's so good.
and it will make you insane.
Some of it drives you nuts, but some of it you're like, dude, this song
There's
rocks.
OCP headquarters.
That reminds me, man, I recorded something that I haven't listened to since I recorded it on the. Remember the night I was like, man, I'm
Are
getting
you-
distracted with recording.
Are you the David Townsend of Arlington?
I could be. No, I was telling you about how I'm getting distracted when I start playing the Korn tunes because I've never really dicked around much with a 7-string guitar because I've never really, it hadn't been in my wheelhouse really.
Mhm.
Still not. But anyway, I got some stuff that I want you to listen to that I recorded with the 7-string that I think you're gonna be like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Like it
very
doesn't
David
sound like
Townsend.
no, it's not that good. It sounds like but it doesn't sound like your typical 7-string drop tuning guitar like riff. Like when you hear it, you're like, yeah, that's. Never mind. This is backstage stuff I'm talking about here.
No, but let's do it. Let's send it
Yeah.
over.
I
Send
will.
it over. Do you have it there right now?
Yeah.
You gotta cue it up and
No, not live.
airdrop it. No, airdrop it over to me.
Oh yeah, I will.
So I
See.
got it.
But I have not listened. Now listen, I have not listened to it since that night, so you can't be like, "This is shit."
What the fuck is
So
this
you can't-
shit? This
you can't-
isn't David Townsend of Arlington.
This is not David Townsend of Arlington or Tarrant County or anywhere in this world.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. We got some stuff we got to work on. We're gonna have some announcements next week.
Pregunta?
I mean, we've already talked about the Halloween show coming up, where Skip is
Yeah.
gonna be a part of it.
Already named the song Upside Down 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skip could play MC for that show.
I put you on the. You're on the flyer, I think.
And you mean Skip is?
Whatever.
The band.
Look, I don't know. I don't understand how that fucking works. All I know is Venezuelans are coming over here and taking Muppet jobs.
And eating cats.
And they like to eat cats. And it's weird. So, I don't know how that works in your world. But I do have something I need to tell you about once we stop the show.
Okay.
So, we're going to stop this stream. Sorry for our debate coverage tonight. Hopefully it was funny.
We didn't feel good.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But
We're not impressed with either candidate.
no.
It goes without saying.
We're wishing for
A
just
nuclear holocaust.
a capable human.
Yeah.
2024.
At this point, someone with a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That has a brain that functions right.
Someone that actually knows what's up. Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris. I've done my research and I've made my choice.
I'm voting for Kamala then.
That is the news report from Hollywood Reporter right now.
Yeah.
If Tay-Tay's voting for Kamala, then I'm in. I got to vote for Kamala now.
I think
That
it's
does it.
September 28th is when her and Kelsey are supposed to break up.
I heard about that too. Like their relationship contract, quote unquote, is going to expire.
That's when it expires. They have to figure out what they're going to do with their life, and everybody thinks they're going to break up.
Unless he knocks her up. then-
What if he takes
Taylor
a knee?
Swift ignites Democratic Party. And
What if he takes a knee?
legions of Swifties with Kamala Harris endorsement?
What if he takes a knee? Kelsey, he's like, "Hey, baby, I'm so scared."
Just like Colin Kaepernick.
What if he takes a knee to her face? Or he takes a knee of hers to his face.
Says, "Get over here."
Yeah, he takes a knee to the face. All right, go Cowboys. We'll see you next week.
Red pants.
I had to change my pants.
From Red Pants.
So
I got